Yo. In the days of old, 5 elements were known. MCing, DJing, graffiti had grown. B-boy and knowledge, the pillars of the game. But a 6th emerged, adding to the flame. Comics and hip-hop, a fusion so tight. Visual storytelling, lyrics that ignite. From the pages to the beats, a seamless blend. The 6th element, where 2 worlds transcend.
Welcome to the 6th Element Show, where comics and hip-hop flow. Reno and Stu guiding the way, bringing you the culture every day. Welcome to the 6th Element Show, where comics and hip-hop flow. Reno and Stu.
What's good, y'all? 6th Element in the building. Yes. We are a couple minutes late. We'll talk to Stu Dog, man. Listen, if you can get Stu Dog to show up on time, then I pay you. You know what I mean? Hey, I don't like to start when it's just, you know what I mean? I don't like to start until everybody's here, but you know, sometimes we gotta just start and wait for people to get their shit together. What's up, y'all? It's 6th Element. We got a great show as always. A lot of guests coming in tonight. A lot of homies coming in. We got Vel Love coming in. Raw Talk will be joining us. Stu Dog, maybe even Adam Shark Eyes, Toy View. So it'll be a party tonight as usual. And we're gonna get it in. We're gonna get it in all the way on this topic tonight, man. The WB, man, Netflix, man, Keefe, DC Comics, 50 Cent, P. Diddy. What does Netflix buying Warner Brothers mean for DC Comics in particular? But while we waiting on people, man, check this out. Check out the first hip hop derpy in the building. That I'm here for quality content, more peak than geeks and gamers, and John Campia. You better know it. Check it out. We got the first hip hop transformer. This is, well, in my opinion, I call him the hip hop transformer because, you know, he turns into a boombox. I mean, what are you gonna do? Soundwave, he was the dopest one on the show. In my opinion, was my favorite transformer. A lot of the kids today, man, this new generation, they don't even know who Soundwave is, man, because, you know, they know the movies, you know, and live action movies, they did Soundwave dirty. Just dirty, man, because he was one of the main characters in the cartoon. Like, he was the main. It was Megatron, it was Soundwave, you know what I mean? Starscream every now and then, little Shockwave, but Soundwave was that mainstay, bro, because he had that voice. He had the mega voice or whatever it was, that robot voice. Shark Eyes, what's cracking from down under? Salute. Yes, you're welcome to the party, pal. The Diddy documentary was crazy, well worth watching, and well scathing. Definitely scathing to the homie Diddy. And he was pissed. He sent his goons, he sent his lawyers after Netflix and said, cease, man, you got to desist because this is attacking my character. As if he was ever fucking held in like high regard. Personally, Vel Love, what's good, man? Welcome.
What's up, brother?
I mean, I was a kid I was a teenager in the 90s, and never was I a fan of Diddy. Always thought he was a clown. When he was next to Biggie dancing and shit, we always made fun of him. We never respected this dude. After Biggie dies, you know what I'm saying? He gets this big persona. He becomes he's a rapper now. He's the big superstar now, and he becomes the superstar. And then, of course, white America, they don't know shit. They're just looking at, oh, dancing black guy, he's rich. Okay, let's be his fan. That's it. That's all they care about. So they don't know what the fuck's going on. And then he becomes this mega fucking mogul. And yeah, talking about abusing power. So
he was getting rich off all of Bad Boy, but Biggie was his biggest artist. And It's been said before, dead rappers get better promotion. And you can milk them as long as you're on the right. As long as you're on the rights, you can milk them forever. It pops.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And making sure we found out in the documentary, which we always suspected, but documentary after documentary, Puffy's up there, everyone's up there from Bad Boy saying, oh, you know, Puffy tried to tell Biggie not to go. Biggie wanted to go. Biggie just wanted to go. And Puffy's up there going, man, I tried to tell Big. Big just wanted to go. He said I couldn't stop him. Now we find out that, in fact, Biggie had no intentions, did not want to be in LA, wanted to leave. He had a show, he had a gig in London that he wanted to go do. Puffy threw a monkey wrench in that, said, no, you cannot leave. We can't let you leave because I need you here because we're having this party on enemy territory that you got to be here for. So he made him stay there, got him killed. Now, whether he made him stay there because he knew the hit was going down that night and he had to be in position, or whether he just made him stay there because he's an egotistical asshole with his head so far up his ass, he's tasting blue magic. But either way, he got Biggie killed. Either fucking way, and either way, it's unforgivable. But
I think there's a little bit of truth in all of it. I think there's a little bit of truth in all of it because I remember that day. I was crossing
clearly,
Betsy Ross
vividly.
Bridge.
Yep.
Okay, I know where I was. One time I heard 1 a.m. I'm like, oh, what? But when you watch the footage of them going in to that party,
yeah,
and both of the Suburbans, they both were similar, nothing on them. They were both clean. When they come out, there's Think Big stickers on the hubcaps of the one Biggie got into. Now, where I'm from, you basically marked that car.
That's marked, yeah.
You know what I mean? You basically said, oh yeah, this is the one. Now the other part of it is when they get to that light and that light's about to change, this is your man's back there. This is your man's. You take off. You make sure you're far enough away. And then all of a sudden you hear the shots and you zoom right back. It ain't adding up. It ain't adding up.
It don't add up. It don't add up. But you know what I'm saying? Either way, we don't have the evidence. We don't have. So all we can do is speculate and go by confessions. And that's one thing that we got. Basically, we got, I think, from Keefe D killing Tupac. And so while Puffy may not have had Big killed, or he may have, he definitely had Pac killed. Now, whether he intentionally knew that they were going to follow through with his $1 million offer or not is fucking relevant, because he said, I'm gonna give you $1 million. He was talking to Southside Crips. These are real dudes that are serious about their, you know what I'm saying? And so you don't fuck around. You tell them, motherfucker, you're gonna give $1 million on a body, he gonna give you that body, and then you got to pay up. And so
wasn't it $1 million for both?
It was $1 million for both. They killed Pac and not Suge. So Diddy was like, well, I'm just gonna send you 500. Gave 500,000 to Zip. Zip was like, fuck it, I'm about to die of cancer anyway. And what the fuck is Diddy gonna do? And these dudes, fuck it, I'm keeping the money. He kept the money. And that was that. And then so, you know, we come back around to the Biggie thing. You know, Biggie was already disillusioned. He had already peeped Puff for what he was, right? So you know, the big question is, how much did Biggie know about Puffy's antics and what he was up to and what type of guy he was, and how much was he down with? And we know that he most likely knew about all of it, and we know from many sources that he was not down with it, and he was trying to leave him Bad Boy. And so that aligned with the fact that Puffy has always just wanted to be a star. That's been his main goal. And the best and the biggest star he could ever be would be the friend of Biggie, the guy who died, the great rapper who died, and I'm his guy. So you know what I'm saying? That was just too perfect for his career for it to be a coincidence. Corey, I just salute. Just like R. Kelly did, he had issues. I really fault the people who knew what was happening and they still messed with him, keeping it 100. I mean, look, you got these yes men and yes women all around, these rich, powerful dudes. They're you know, whatever they want goes. Like, and these people, you know, are just the type of people that will do whatever for money. So, you know, if he's willing to pay them, they're gonna do whatever he wants them to do, and definitely keep their mouth shut about anything he's doing, because as soon as they run their mouth, they lose their job, they lose their money, they lose their golden goose. So that's why these superstars are so insulated, because they are gatekeepers. And so they surround themselves with people who want nothing more than to be a celebrity and be famous and be in that world. And so all they have to do is dangle the carrot and say, yep, I can put you in that world. I can make you famous. Just, you know, lick my asshole, suck his dick.
Epstein.
Epstein, fucking you name it, Weinstein, fucking all the Steens, fucking yeah, R. Kelly, P. Diddy, Bill Cosby, don't matter. But and that's another thing, I wanna also, we're not here to like tear down black kings and black leaders and all that, but I want to say Puffy was never that. Puffy is not a black role model. He's not a black leader. He's not any sort of anything that I think anyone would want to represent them as a people. So miss me with that shit. Stu Dog, what's up? You on mute?
No, chilling, right? Chilling.
Ronnie in the building. Ronnie Trick Shot Salute. Legends. This channel looks a lot sexier without Sharky on the screen. Crikey. Oh no. Dissing the homie.
Yo, he is super funny, bro.
Yo, Sharky might come on tonight, actually. But yeah, soon, man, we're gonna do some more collabs with Sharky and them, bro. They got some cool, fun stuff going on. We're gonna definitely lots of stuff in the future with those guys.
Funny. Sharky was fun to talk to, man. He really was. He was good. He was good to have, man. Just to conversate with him. He had our jaws on the floor when we were talking about the Deltoffs. And I mean, we was like, what? He was like, you guys didn't know that? We were like, nah. But nah, you definitely taught us something today, because we definitely didn't know. That's something that you learn new every day. We learned something new that day because we definitely didn't know.
Wait, what are you talking about?
The Deltoffs. Remember we talking about the Deltoffs?
Yeah.
I was like, yo, where'd you get them shells? I said, are those Deltoffs? And he said, no. Remember he said he got them from Aldi's. And he was like, what? He was like,
Aldi got
the shelf.
Yeah,
we were like, what?
Did you ever find any on Aldi? Did you ever look on Aldi?
Nah, I never. I gotta go on there. I'm gonna do it Monday, because that's the day I'm usually on the computer, real heavy, and I take care of a lot of business on the computer on Mondays. And check, go through all my emails and mess with my crypto.
They got shelving at Aldi.
Thank you. That's how we were. We were the same look you got on your face is what we had. He was like, huh? He said he said they do it once a year.
Here. I need some new stuff.
I need at least one good one. I need one more, and I'm good. And he told us, he said they do like a sale every year, and they sell them from, like, I don't know. I think I want to say March to June or something like that. And he said they only do it within that window. And he said all these offers them, and he said they're just like the Deltoffs, but they're just like maybe an inch shorter than the Deltoffs.
That's to make it work.
Something like that.
Because he had like
they were
the Deltoffs.
He had like 10 of them lined up in the back. He had like 10 of them lined up.
Well, anyway, yeah, he said Sharky said, I cannot recall a single time Puffy's career where he's ever known to have given back to the community or done any philanthropic good in the world. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's never done anything for anybody. What the fuck has he done for you?
I mean, what has anybody famous ever done for anybody, really? Unless you meet him in person. Let's keep it a buck. But listen, Puffy.
You have Malcolm X, and obviously
that's different. Well, that's
black
different.
leaders that have done things.
Well, Puffy's not a black leader, like you say. He's not. He's an entertainer.
He's
an entertainer. He's been entertaining us for years. He's entertaining us now. Even with his court case, we're being entertained. But you got for all you younger kids out there, and all you millennials and Gen Zers and Gen Alphas and all that, we're gonna break it down. Like, listen, I was there. We was there. So we've heard these rumors for years, but we never had any confirmation on any of this. Nobody ever said it. So now times have changed. People change. Feelings change. People grow up. You know what I mean? People have different feelings. And they're starting to corroborate these stories and saying, well, yeah, these Diddy parties, they was off the chain. Like, so we've heard it even before social media and the internet was always out. But even before social media, we heard this stuff. We just couldn't confirm it. You know what I mean? Like, we was like,
it was
what?
running rampant in like 96.
Yeah, 96. Yes, from about 96, he's right, to about 04. It was running. It was. We like, damn. We was like, what? Diddy parties? They're like,
I mean, look, we never saw Diddy as anybody that we thought was cool. Nobody ever looked up. Nobody thought he was cool. Like, nobody
he was just a producer. He was a producer. He made beats. A lot of people clowned him for being on the beat.
He was a
and stuff
clown.
like,
we thought he was corny as fuck.
They be like, yo, why he
shit on
always
the
on the beat?
records.
Yeah,
Word,
they be like, oh, why is he always on the beat?
Bro.
Yeah, why he always on the beat talking? He got to be in the video dancing. Like he did a couple Jones with Mary, he dancing in the background. Mary singing. You know, I mean, a lot of people that wasn't feeling that. Was those songs hits? Yeah.
He was
But
dancing
at the
in
time,
every video,
every
single video,
every single
one.
He
did.
That's my point. He wanted to be a rapper. He wanted to be a singer. He wanted to be a pop star. He wanted to be a celebrity.
Star.
He wanted to be a star
so bad. He was right, and even when they got to the making the band stuff, he was still riding off the backs of people with talent. It's crazy. Like,
well, you notice now. You notice that's a good point. I'm glad you brought up the making the band thing because the making the band. Because the making the band
really kind of saw it.
Well, no, because them people are. He knows that he did. Like think about this. And here's what I always wondered: you telling me these are the best rappers you could find? You telling me Dylon is one of 10 best rappers you could fucking find? You telling me Bucky Ball? Bro, out of that whole lineup, bro, not one of them would I have chosen. I can find better MCs in my fucking neighborhood. And you're P. Diddy. You're in New York City. You got the whole world. You telling me these are the best rappers you could find? No. He wanted to find people that were not as good, you know what I'm saying, as him. He didn't want nobody to outshine him.
That's very telling right there because he's in the middle of New York. You getting all these B-grade rappers and everything like that, but you're in the Mecca. You can walk down the street in Brooklyn. You can walk down the street in Queens.
Right.
And just snatch somebody that's 10 times.
Rock can hit an MC better than anybody on there.
What's the name of that guy? What's the name of that guy that goes around with the piano thing, the keyboard, and he makes the beats and he gives people the mic and they sing?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I can't remember.
Because
I know exactly who you're talking about.
When he in New York, bro, he run across people that can sing, rap, do all kinds. Like his talent, it's kind, and he be like, yo, like some of this. I watched this one with this boy. He was about 10 years old, and he was like, "You rap?" He was like, "Yeah." He's like, "What kind of beat you want?" And he made the beat up on the fly, and the little boy killed it. Like, I mean, he was like 10. I was like, "Yo, people sing. He catch people singing all the time. Like, it's a lot of talent out there, man, in New York, man. Like, you're right. You go and find somebody that can rap better than him."
Yeah, it's a layup. I mean, the only one I'm gonna give credence to is maybe Ness. Because he
everybody like
and Babs was nice too.
Yeah, everybody liked
him. Nice.
That was it.
The rest of them,
but not nice to the level, right? But not they were nice, but they were nice amongst the people that he chose. I wouldn't have. They weren't nice amongst fucking New York City.
Oh, because I'm still sitting here. Just like 15 years later, what did Sarah do? What did Dylon do? I ain't never heard none of them on no track of no type of relevance. So it's like, what did you pick them for?
Right. That's I'm like watching the show. I'm like, well, I don't care which one of these people win. I wouldn't buy not one of their albums. I wouldn't listen to none of these people's music. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is clearly you're just doing this show. So that's what always baffled me about that show. It's like, are you really trying to find the best next big rapper, or you just want to have this reality show with a bunch of kids that you can do any kind of way and make some ratings and show like you're a tough guy, you're a badass? So he picked a bunch of people that he knew beneath him, and he could send them to get Cambodian breast milk and cheesecake and all that shit. You know, and that he wouldn't have to be threatened by them. They would never be as good as him. But anyway, so on Friday, y'all. 50 Cent shares a post on Instagram showing an arrangement of flowers that the tag reveals was sent to 50 from Diddy. Diddy sent him a funeral arrangement. It's a funeral. I don't give a fuck what you said. That's a funeral arrangement. That's not no fucking bedside. That's a funeral arrangement. And it was a threat, a gangster-style threat from one of the least threatening, fucking corniest motherfuckers in hip hop, and 50 Cent, I'm sure, was fucking terrified. He said, and I'm gonna quote 50 on this now. Don't attack me, okay? He said, "What kind of gay shit is this? Did Diddy send me flowers at Club 11? LOL. Why all the foreplay? Get busy. You know I'm stupid. A warning? I'm 90s grimy. You don't warn me. LOL." And 50's post comes on the heels of the documentary, obviously, The Reckoning, Sean Combs, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of little back and forth between them, but Diddy feels that 50 Cent stole some footage and put it on Netflix, and it's a hit piece and blah, 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 which we came to find out, okay, the footage that so-called was stolen, 50 Cent didn't steal. He got from a videographer. The videographer that was there in the hotel filming Puffy, that, you know, the footage that we see, never got paid, right? And when you don't pay a videographer, they have the rights to the fucking content. So he didn't steal shit. He owned that content. You should have paid him, Diddy. You should have paid your videographer, and you wouldn't be in this fucking situation now. Yo, shout out Corey Adger, man. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Corey said, and that's dope to this day. Shark Eye said, look at that. Look at that show T.I. hosted with Cardi, the winner of that first season. D Smoke is a perfect example of what you guys are saying. A legit rap talent that got over as a result of that show. You know, D Smoke was legit. Like D Smoke, and D Smoke is in a show right now called Mayor of Kingstown that is insane, crazy. He plays Raphael. He plays the head of the leader of the Crips, or really the leader of the black gang in prison. And so check that show out. But yeah, D Smoke had talent. My only critique of D Smoke to this day is that he sounds like, if you didn't know the lyrics, you would think it was Kendrick. So that's the only problem. That's why D Smoke didn't blow up, because someone's already done that, bro.
Yeah, it was somebody else that didn't blow up because of that too.
We had a guy.
They sounded like Biggie.
We had a guy in my neighborhood that sounded identical to Mystical. You remember how Mystical used to sound?
Yeah,
bro, I'm talking about whenever we would do shows, like he would draw the biggest crowd. People would go bananas because he would get up there. He would just sound just like Mystical. Motherfuckers would lose their minds. But me and my friends would just look at each other and be like, yeah, you ain't going nowhere with that. Like,
yeah. Nah, nobody don't want to hear that.
You can't. In our day, you could not sound like nobody else.
Nobody else, yeah. And they do it. Yeah, now they do it all the time.
This generation,
they go crazy.
Everybody sound the same.
Yeah,
well, this generation, you're dope if you sound like the last guy that was dope. Like whoever's the dopest, if you come out, you sound like him, they can be like, oh, he's dope because he sounds like him, because he's dope.
No, like, that's why I think the boy, what's his name, Designer, he ain't get no love now. He done switched everything up. He rhyming now like he 90s grimy. Like, I'm listening to the bars, like, oh, he really got bars now.
He been rhyming like that. He switched his style to sound more like a trap. I heard a mixtape. Yeah, to sound more like a trap rapper. I listened to a mixtape he did before he got big, before he did that Panda stuff.
And then he did what everybody else do in the game right now. Oh, I gotta sound like Future. Oh, I gotta sound like Migos. Like,
because think about it, Migos. You gotta look at it. Like, let's break it down. Migos, their style was dope, and then everybody bit off of their style. They came out straight original, and people was loving them, and they was young when they was doing it, and then everybody started trying to do all that and all the little bird calls and all they were doing. Their style was just unique. Man, everybody bit it.
It's no knock to Migos. It's a knock to the people that are mimicking.
That mimicking, yeah. And then the music industry was like, well, wait a minute, we on to something here. Then Future came out, sounded like a one-man band, Migos. And so now they're like, well, wait a minute. But Drake had the voice. So now they're like, wait a minute. If you can sound like Drake and rap like Future and have that Migos kind of flair, like they got, dress-wise, and we could put that out. And they cookie cutted it.
Drake came out saying cookie cut Lil Wayne.
Yeah, and they came out and cookie cutted it. But Drake got that voice, and Drake sang and he rapped at the same time, which everybody thought was something new. But surprise, 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 nice and smooth, did it. Who else? We got a bunch of rappers that Slick Rick did it. He
stole his style from Fonte, from Little Brother.
Yep. Yeah. Fonte. So Fonte, yeah. So we had people that sung and rap before. Drake wasn't the first one to do it. He just was one got the most famous at it. But that's and the music industry has cookie cutted that, and they shoved it. Remember what what's your name told us that one time? He said he listened to Pete Rock's stuff so much. Remember Grap told us, he said, I listen to my brother's music so much, I only had an ear for that. I didn't have an ear for no other music. Like that's all I was listening to was his beats.
Yeah.
We be in the car, he put his stuff on, we be in the house, that's all I had. So that's what the music industry did. They only gave us an ear. Oh, well, most of them, they gave the world an ear for one music. That's it. They only have an ear for one music. That's it. If it don't sound like trap, don't nobody want to hear it. And you can see it when you listen to watch people. You watch people when you go somewhere, you throw something on, they be like, yeah. You throw something on sound trap, now they like, all right, wait a minute. I'm like, all right, and then they start bobbing. Because that's what the music industry did. They won. The battle was won by the industry. And they split the culture.
They definitely won. Because
and that's just what it
back
is.
in the day, you had to be different to succeed. Like it's like you could listen to something from Native Tongues and turn around and listen to Public Enemy or Eric B. and Rakim or you know what I mean. Even going forward, Nas didn't sound like Big.
No.
Big didn't sound like Wu-Tang. Like it was still. It's like what? Even the South respected that because Outkast ain't sound like Luda.
No, not one bit. That's what made Outkast so dope. Outkast didn't sound like Outkast didn't sound like anything that came from out of the South. They had their own sound, but they were from the South, and it was dope. Yes. We was like, damn, what these jokes from where?
The thing about Outkast,
ATL. You're like, wait a minute.
Outkast, they were the first Southern act to really get super lyrical. Like they were the first rappers in the South that us in the South could feel proud of. Like, because New York, because New York hip hop was it, and at the time, and this was right, I guess, also around the same time, West Coast rap was really killing it. But everyone thought of the South,
and the Midwest was killing it pretty hard too. It was because you had like Texas.
Everybody was just calling the South. They were acting like the South was just booty shake, and we didn't have no music down there and no lyrics, and the shit was just mindless. And Cass came out and was like, nah, South got something to say. That's all I got to say. And he was dead ass. But
they could really rap though.
The South,
they had talent.
Southern music,
really rap.
Southern music, though. But you got to think though, Southern music. We know hip hop came from New York. We know hip hop came from the Bronx. But black music, period, came from the South, and music came from the South. So that it only makes sense that music is gonna resonate. And once the South, I think, once they got the foot in, bro, the longest reign of any region, unarguably, was the South in hip hop. You could argue it's still there.
Outkast came out. I can say one thing from my point of view: they could rap. You could just give them their props. They could rap. Both of them. They was just tearing it up.
But the thing is, hip hop is not a type of music. Hip hop is a culture. Rap is a type of music. And there's lots of different genres and styles of rap. And that's what makes it great. It's not just one sound. And when you try to lump it all and just say rap music is rap music, that's bullshit. Because you have West Coast rap, East Coast rap, Southern rap, Midwest rap, and that's not to divide the culture. That's to show the variety of the culture, the broadness of the culture, to show like how much of, how much the culture has to offer. And rap music has many genres, right? And that's something that we lost with the internet, right? The internet kind of erased the region.
That's what we don't have
we had regions.
Cookie cut. Everything's cookie cut.
Now the internet just blended everything into one sound, right? There's no more regions because everything is the internet now. So everything gets everywhere
after a certain year. After a certain year, because if you get
social media,
like after like 2009, 2010, then I totally
social media.
But prior to that, there were artists like I said, I just mentioned Little Brother. They came out of that, that era. It was insane how big they were on the internet, but you were hearing things on there that you never heard before, and it's like, why they not getting signed? What the hell? I'm trying to hear more of this.
Little Brother is super underrated, man.
Yeah, they are super underrated. Like look at the Beastie Boys. Let's take them. That's another underrated group from the 80s. They blew up though. When the Beastie Boys came out, the music industry was like, yo, that first album, License to Ill, blew up in everybody's face. And it crossed over. See, that's the thing. People don't realize the Beastie Boys were kind of catalyst MCs. It blew up, but they were catalysts in a commercial sense. Whereas Eric B. and Rakim couldn't get that commercial. Run DMC hit superstar status, but not commercial. They were still hard, and they were still considered rappers. So if you mention them to somebody that didn't, they're like, "Oh yeah, I know that. Run that's the rap guy."
That's because of
But
Walk
if you
This Way.
said,
Walk This Way
but they
crossed them
still,
over.
but they were still considered them rap guys. That's the only song you would hear them play in a bar. You go to a white bar, that's the only Walk This Way. Oh, we love that. We love our music.
That's all white people knew.
But the Beastie Boys was what their kids was listening to.
Fight for your right to party.
When their kids was listening to Beastie Boys, that blew them up. So when Beastie Boys came out with Paul's Boutique, it didn't hit like License to Ill. And the reason why? Because they was back in their hip hop roots. And the record industry was like, no, we want more of that. And the Beastie Boys was like, no, we hip hop. That was cool. We got to move on. We want to do more hip hop. But then the Beastie Boys found a good fusion between that hip hop and that rock sound, and they carried it. That carried them into another whole level where Run DMC was. It was where they could cross over to both sides, to where they could have fans on both sides of the ticket. You know, the casual fans and the hardcore hip hop fans. Same thing. Like when you look at groups like Ultramagnetic, when I back in the day, people used to be like, man, they corny. I used to be like, Ultramagnetic is hard. They dope. I used to be like, man, I've never heard. They were just so unique. They were ahead of their time. Kool Keefe still dropping albums today. He's risen to that Run DMC Beastie Boy status where he's a legend. When people are like, I remember him from back in the day with Ultramagnetic. That's what Kool Keefe is at now. He's crossed over. And in rap, some of those acts crossed over like that. And they put us on the mainstream to where everybody had to turn and be like, yo, who is that? And you'd be talking to somebody random in the doctor's office, like, yeah, I know that guy. Yeah, I like that one song he has. But it's just like I said, that one song he has. That one song will put you into a status where you cross over. You got like, you're doing movies now. Look at the Fat Boys. Same thing. Once they count that Wipeout joint with Chubby Checker and all that, man, listen, that crossed them over. They couldn't be hip hop no more. And it will cross you over. Same thing with Outkast is the same way. But theirs was in reverse. And that's why I like Outkast more on their commercial side, because when they got to that mega commercial height, they still kept it gutter. Because you couldn't really commercialify them to the way where you could take away their status as MCs, anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I liked about Outkast. I think that's what was so appealing to Outkast, more than any other groups that came out of the South, is that they hit that stardom that put them into the stratosphere where they up there with Run DMC. And you can't take that away from them. They can cross over to both sides. And they got a huge casual following, and they got a huge hardcore hip hop following that mixes it together. Come see them in concert, bro. Yeah, and the Witchery of Eric Badu.
Very unique group, just mainly because of Andre, because Andre is not your typical MC. Big Boy very much is your typical MC. He's like one of the dopest in the South. But Andre is an artist, you know, a musician really that happens to rap. Like that's my man said rap is cooked, but hip hop is forever. As long as the small hats run rap, bullshit will happen and be pushed to the masses. And that's the thing, man. I mean, you know, but right now with social media is the industry, right? The industry is social media. It's whatever
their views equal. Views and likes equal sales, success.
None of that. You don't have guys making albums anymore because they don't sell albums. They sell single songs. They might have an album like these new. They have an album, but it's more of a compilation. It's a mixtape. It's not like back in the day, an album had a concept usually, and then there was like a flow to it, and then, like the songs were all kind of related in some way, and it kind of maybe even told a story from the first to the last song, like Ready to Die, you know what I'm saying, does. But nowadays, bro, it's just singles compiled together, basically making mixtapes, because they don't sell albums, they sell streams. And so that changes the industry, that changes the music, right? That changes the way it sounds, that changes the way it's sold, the way it's consumed, the way it's appreciated, the way these kids get onto it. And so we're sitting here looking like, what happened to hip hop? And my thing is this: nothing happened to hip hop. Something happened to social media, and there was some, I think, a new genre of music created. Like, I don't consider that shit hip hop music. It's not rap like that. I don't. First of all, if you're not rap, the word rap means to talk, right? I mean, if you're not saying something, I don't care. You don't have to be telling a story. You don't have to be telling a positive message, but fucking put a sentence together, like, right? Make something that's not. Don't just chant 3 words over and over. That's not rapping. That's
but even though the so-called rappers of this generation don't consider themselves rappers, they say it themselves. I am not a rapper. I am a rock star.
Yeah, right.
It just got, because they're young, urban, black, whatever, they get grouped into hip hop.
Yeah, right.
There's no other.
What's your name started that, man? What's your name started that? Little Uzi Vert started that. Yeah. He started that.
Well, no, I remember. Really, Lil Wayne started it, bro. That's Lil Wayne is the godfather of this shit. He's the one came out with the guitar and started acting like a rock star, and the ripped up jeans and the whole punk rock look and the skateboard. He started that whole generation.
Because I remember Little Uzi Vert was on the show one time. He was so disrespectful, man. I think it was Paul Rosenberg. He was on his show before he got real big, and he was like,
that's Wayne's biggest disciple right there.
He was like, yeah, man. He's like, we're gonna put a beat on. You gonna rock for us? And he was like, yeah, just don't put on an old man beat. So Paul was like, what you talking about, old man beat? He said, what do you mean? Like, what's an old man beat? He's like, you know what I'm talking about. He was like, all right. He said, well, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, we're gonna put on a beat and you can rap to it. If you don't like it, just tell us to switch it up. We switch it up. He was like, nah, I don't want to hear no. He said, look, I'm a rock star. You know what I mean? I'm not no average rapper. I'm a rock star. And he was breaking it down. So you could tell the host was like, you could tell in his face, but he kept his cool on the interview. He was like, all right, he put a beat on. He saw, is that cool? And then he said, well, would you consider old man business? He said, like anything from the 90s, like Run DMC. Like, he was like, Run DMC didn't come out in the 90s. And he was like, well, whatever. And he was being real disrespectful. And so, like,
well, no, it's a lack of knowledge. They don't know anything about it because they had no.
That too, but the way his whole attitude.
Find out.
Yeah, you're right. But his attitude, he just real disrespectful. He couldn't have been on. Listen, I couldn't have been interviewing him because I would have laid him out. I'd have been like, well, listen, how about you just leave? Because nobody really want to hear your music anyway. And so let's just do that.
Well, he can't do that, but Rosenberg can't do that because 1 million kids love his music. That's why Rosenberg.
I wouldn't give it that. Let me tell you something. I wouldn't give it that.
He's a radio DJ. You're dog. You don't give a damn. But when you're a radio DJ and you got a program director that tells you can say and do certain shit.
That's why I'm not. That's why I'm not a radio DJ now. Because I wouldn't give it that. I would, because I'm from I'm from that 90s. I'm from the 90s era. I'm cut from a different cloth. I'm not gonna sit. No DJ in the 90s would let somebody come on their show and just diss about, man. Don't be putting on the old man, be talking to him like that. They'd be like, Red Alert would have never let nobody come on the show. He'd be like, who are you talking to? First of all, you can get up out of here.
Have you every MC that was down with Red Alert do a freestyle? Have you ever seen one of these rappers do a freestyle?
Yeah.
So like Uzi Vert didn't do he didn't want to. Yeah, that's his whole point was that I'm not gonna freestyle because I really can't rap. See, the thing is, like, these rappers never had to get good, right? Because all they had to do was just go on and put their music on SoundCloud and everyone could hear it. Back in the day, for everyone to hear your music, a label had to sign you and a radio had to play your music. So you had to get really good before you got to that level, before anyone ever fucking heard you. By the time we heard motherfuckers, they were Nas, they were Biggie, they were whatever. You know, you didn't hear Nas when he first started rapping when he was 7. You wouldn't have liked that rap. But nowadays, a kid, his first rap can get on SoundCloud. And as long as the beat's bopping and it got a little melody to it and some kids like it and they just share it a lot, all of a sudden he's a famous rapper, but he's never learned how to rap yet. So when you put him on the spot and you tell him spit some bars, he's gonna get disrespectful to save face, right? Because he can't be like, well, you know, I'm not really good at rapping. What's he gonna say? I'm a rock star. Don't give me that old man shit. What's he gonna do? So, but I've heard them freestyle. You know what? They're what they consider like off the top is they'll literally like make noises and shit. They'll be like, they call that shit off the dome, and I'm like, you're coming up with concepts. That's a song concept. Like if you want to come up with a rap or like a song that has a certain melody. Right, as a writer, you might not, and this is a secret writers use. You might not write the words out. You might say, And then you might put words to that because you need that melody, right? You might convert that into words, right? But they just record that shit and call it a song. Like, but it's because their music is not about lyrics. It's not about bars. It's about the vibe, right? It's about the sound. As long as it sounds good, they consider it a success, right? And then when you turn around and go, "Where's the bars?" You're not rapping. They oh, you're an old head. Somebody sound insecure to me.
Yeah, I used to ask these young boys, just tell me what the elements of hip hop are. Nobody in this generation could. Nobody
No.
I asked, they don't have a clue. I'm like, wow, you call yourself hip hop? That's wild behavior.
My son was one day, he was like, he laughed when he was like, Pops, like, what? How are you this way about like it's music? Like what? Because he didn't get how hip hop is like my life, like it's my life, like it's part of my life. They can't comprehend that, like, because they never loved it so much. Right? They never loved it so much that they wanted to be it, right? That they wanted it to be their life. They wanted to be a part of that culture and make that culture, and just be surrounded by that culture. They never loved it that much because what's to love, right? They never had no one spit some shit that touched their heart, their soul, or made them think of some shit from childhood or whatever, right? They don't get that out of their music. They listen to instrumentals with voices.
And that wasn't even just from rap, Think about R&B. One day I was at work. No lie, this is when I used to work with Juvenile. And I came into the cabin one day. And what was that song TLC had? You can grow your hair, something you can do something with your hair if it don't grow. You can bit your nails if they don't. What was it called? No ugly or something like that. Unpretty. So I walk in the room. It's like 4 chicks in there watching it, and they vibing to it like they silently vibing to it, but they hypnotized by it at the same time, and it's all inspiring for them because the music back then, that's what it did. These people was doing this from their heart, man. Like they was doing it from their heart and their soul. So when they was listening to Unpretty, them girls was feeling that. They was looking at that video like yo, and TLC was what a cultural phenomenon. They would they loved them. People loved them. They sold out venues. Like
it's like when I hear Diddy, it's like when I hear Everyday Struggle. When I hear
you can relate to it,
that shit makes my eyes water up. Like, and then like certain songs just hit you like that, and I can understand. I can understand why you would not feel the reverence for hip hop or have the passion or respect for it that our generation would, because your songs never hit you like that. I don't know what does hit you like that, because it's not your songs. Damn strange social
I feel
media.
Like that about
video games.
It definitely first album. When I hear Criminal Minded, it take me to a place like that, because we knew Chris's story back then. We knew he was homeless. We knew he came from nothing. Like, we knew when he dropped that album, he put his heart and soul in that.
Because hip hop was about telling news, like
yeah. Public Enemy. When I heard really, when I first heard Public Enemy, I seen him at a Beastie Boys concert. I was blown away. I was like, Public Enemy? Who is this? A rap group called Public Enemy? Like,
Public
what
Enemy?
the hell? I was like, what the hell? Like, this is blasphemy. Don't know black people. Don't know black rap group be called Public Enemy. Man, they came out and killed it. We was like, yo,
Stupid.
like, who is these jokers? Like, yeah. And they was opening for the Beastie Boys. Opening for the Beastie Boys. Let's keep that a buck.
Yeah.
They weren't the headliner. They were opening for the Beastie Boys.
Nah, everybody got to start somewhere.
And that's my point. A big group, a big rap group that got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, like Public Enemy, open for the Beastie Boys. Come on, man! Like, you got to be like, and like I said, we first said we was like,
Def Jam run.
Yeah,
that infamous Def Jam run. That was it, like 84 to like 2001. Infamous Def Jam run.
Mm-hmm.
they had everybody. Like they
Yes, they
think about
did.
that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Public Enemy, freaking LL, like
Yeah.
LL
LL.
is the all-time MVP of Def Jam. I don't care what nobody say.
Yeah,
He
he
kept
is.
that
Yeah.
company afloat.
Yeah.
Like they had an infamous for everybody wanted to be on Def Jam. Freaking
Yeah.
what's called Old Dirty. That he was fighting to be on Def Jam. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
And then Left got on Def
Yeah.
Jam. It's a lot of Def.
Niggas
Remember
all
Nikki D? Remember Nikki D was
yeah,
the first female Def Jam
yep.
artist. She was
Well, we have
dope,
drifted
but
way off topic, y'all. We drifted way off topic. Bad Boy, Puffy, 50 Cent, sending flowers. Holmes was acquitted. By the way, I thought he was found guilty. He's acquitted of two of the main charges. He was found guilty on one of the charges, got a couple years. But yeah, the transportation to engage in prostitution is the one they found him guilty. And if you watch the documentary, they interviewed two of the jurors who were very, very, very clearly starstruck and absolutely just taken in by Diddy, and just completely like under his spell. He would literally be like turning them to the court, being like rolling his eyes and shit, like at certain shit, and they'd be like laughing with him and shit. Like there's
crazy,
no way. Yeah, so he was completely Teflon Don, which it does remind you of John Gotti, because I don't know, if you guys were there, but like I know if you were,
yeah, we
John
remember all
Gotti,
that. Yeah, you remember John
he definitely was acquitted and had, because he had like the jurors, the people of New York loved him. They loved him.
That's true. No, that's 100% true. They did. He was like a hero. He's like Nicky Barnes. He's like Nicky Barnes of that piece.
Yeah, because
he only went down because his man told on him. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Well, let's be fair. Let's be fair. I'll tell you the truth. He went down because he told his man that his man. Gotti was getting ready to go do life in prison for these murders and shit. He brings Sammy in. He says, "Sammy, listen, I'm the boss. I got to be on the street. I can't afford to go away. You're going to have to take these charges for me. And you're going to have to go do life in prison. Fuck your family. You're going to go do the rest of your life in prison so as I can stay out." Sammy says, "Oh, really? All right. We'll see." Because fuck that. That's not what I signed up for. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I got caught, I do my time. If I got caught, I'm not going to try to put it off on no one else. If you get caught, I'm not going to tell them about what you did. But if you say I got to take your charge and it's life, motherfucker, without possibility, I don't know any man that would do that for another fucking man, especially one that he didn't really care for too much. By the way, he didn't really like him too much. You know what I'm saying? Because Sammy was a real wise guy's wise guy. He did not believe in flaunting and being flashy and da-da-da-da and all the shit that John Gotti was. He saw that as the opposite of what you're supposed to do. And he was, didn't have a lot of respect for him because of that, and a few other things. I mean, let's be honest, like Gotti basically, killed his boss to become boss. Like he wasn't like the most respectable or honorable guy. It's just that he was very flashy. He was very out in the public. He was basically gave the public a movie gangster, like from the movies, that they could see in real life and act like, oh, that's part of my life. And so they loved him for that. Right. Because he exposed the mafia. Right. Whereas before, if you saw a guy, you had to be like, yeah, that guy's probably connected. But that's it. But with Gotti, it's like, I'm the fucking mafia, bitch. And like walking, and like people were like, yeah. So guys like Sammy weren't down with that shit. And then you turn, so I like, for the longest time we cursed Sammy. We thought fucking Sammy the Bull, the biggest fucking rat. Fuck Sammy the Bull, he's the rat. Sammy the Bull was synonymous with rat. But I don't know. I've been watching his podcast. I watch a lot of his YouTube shit. I've seen a lot of stories from people that knew him and stuff like that, and when you get the full picture, you start to see it in a different light.
Yeah, I watched a couple of his interviews too. I watched the one he did on Vlad TV. I watched the Vlad TV one. He broke it down.
Oh yeah,
he definitely broke
his
it down.
Own channel. He's got his own channel. He makes his own like videos. He's got a little movie.
Yeah, he definitely broke that down. But if you're the big boss, it's time to take the fall. You gotta take the fall. Yeah. Man. You can't call nobody in the room like you gotta take the fall for me. But I'm the big boss. You're supposed to take that on the chin, especially if you're the big boss. And they're gonna take care of you.
And they went away.
They're gonna take care of you. Yeah, they're gonna take care of you while you're in jail. They're gonna be, they're gonna take care of you. And he's gonna make sure he's supposed to call you in the room and be like, look, they're about to hit me with this charge, man. Listen, I need y'all to get everything together. You know what I'm saying? So that we can, make sure this we can keep making money. Y'all can hit me off while I'm in jail. Y'all gonna eat while I'm gone.
You know what I mean? Keep running this from the inside, and
I can run it from in there. Yeah, we're gonna keep it moving. Yeah.
But he didn't, and subsequently brought down basically the mafia because you had the commission trials. They take down the 5 families. It was a wrap after that. So now all that you have left are wise guys. Like there's really no big mafia anymore. There's still wise guys. There's organized crime, believe me, but the 5 families, like it's not like it was.
It ain't like Gotham. It ain't like Gotham no more.
Word. Yeah. But yeah, before, during, and after the 8-week trial, that everyone's been watching, 50 Cent was providing something of a running commentary on Diddy's downfall, as well as sharing his reaction to his name being brought up in court proceedings. He issued a scathing warning to Puffy's legal team, saying that while sharing a few baby oil related memes on social media, 50 then announced that he would be producing this documentary to examine Diddy's skeletons, and he said on an interview with GQ that he was inspired to make this 4-part series because he didn't want people to assume that his silence meant that everybody in hip hop is okay with what's going on. He wanted motherfuckers to know, like, because honestly, bro, hip hop was not very vocal, and it was kind of like, are we down with it? And so 50's like, he just wants the public to know, no, we are not down with it. We in hip hop really don't consider Diddy one of us. Like, yeah, he's whatever, but I think if you asked some old white lady in Arizona if Puffy was hip hop, of course she would say yes. But if you asked Mos Def, I don't think he would say yes. It just depends on who you're talking to. But other rappers will say, 50 said, other rappers, he said, will say, I ain't gonna say nothing. I am gonna mind my business because of that position that Diddy held in the culture for so long. So that would leave me without me saying that I will do it. There's nobody there if I don't say it. So that's 50's point. He wanted to be the one, like, since everybody's basically scared to say it or whatever, I'm going to say it. And 50 also insisted that he didn't have any kind of agenda when getting involved in the creation of the interview, saying that he said, if it was, I would have focused on the fact that you're the only man in jail for transporting male sex workers. Right. That's because that's what's going on. Like Diddy is in there for transporting male sex workers. And you have, the guy that was Diddy's partner that helped him build Bad Boy. He said that Diddy was sexually abusing him for years. Like that's booty.
Yo, when I seen that, I didn't get that part, man. Like,
I
couldn't be a man doing an interview and tell somebody that, man, because that made me I couldn't do that. He said I woke up multiple times with Diddy in the bed with me and some girls, and I was hurting.
He said I was sore.
Sore, yeah, I was sore.
Sore was the word he used.
How? Come on, dog, man.
I don't know, but ain't no girl ever made me sore. I'm just gonna.
I tell you what, I don't know about that, but I would have got up and I'd have beat everybody up in the room. They'd called the police. They called the police. I'd have been like, man, wait a minute, hold up.
Part though. BDBGP salute.
Yo.
in the building. What up? What up? How y'all living? How y'all
feeling? BDBGP, what up? What up?
Big Daddy Gaming
Hey brothers,
Beard.
hey brothers, I gotta hop off.
All right, broski, man. Thanks for coming on, bro. Anytime, bro.
Thank you. All right, y'all, be good.
All right, man. You too.
One. What up? What up?
BDBGP, what up, man? That rap battle last week was good, man. Good.
Man. But yeah, so after the thing came out, right, and Combs, Puffy's like his camp talk shit about the documentary, saying that it was a shameful hit piece and that Netflix relied on stolen footage that was never authorized for release. Part of the statement shared by his spokesman said, "It is equally staggering that Netflix handed creative control to Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, a longtime adversary with a personal vendetta who has spent too much time slandering Mr. Combs." You know, and these statements, like, did he slander him? Were the videos doctored? No. It's like, you're just mad because you got fucking told on. You're mad because you got exposed. That's not the same as saying that he made up shit about you. He didn't make up shit. He just exposed you, and you're pissed about it. You should have shut up. You should have kept your mouth shut. Like, if you're mad somebody exposed you, just shut the fuck up. As soon as you start talking about it, you look like the idiot. But yeah, so then he sends him flowers, right? He sends him flowers that say 50 Cent with his address, and it's supposed to be like some warning or whatever, you know, and 50's like, you know, I'm 90s grimy, don't warn me. But it seems like he's taking this gesture as some kind of, you know, threat rather than an olive branch, as did, I think, a lot of us. Let's see. One commenter said, "It's probably a sign that I can send you whatever you want, whatever I want, anytime. That is scary for real." Another one said, "If this is real, he trying to tell you he know where you at." And another one said, "Sending you funeral flowers when you're already in prison is insane." But yeah, it's whatever, bro. But 50 Cent found guilty on 2 counts. You know, he'll was sentenced to 4 years and 2 months in federal prison, ordered to pay $500,000 fine, and spend 5 years of suspended supervised release afterwards. So, but he spent, yeah, it's nothing. And after, well, he'll do like 2.5 years because he already did a year in prison during the trial, so that'll be time served. And so he'll do like 3 years, but which, you know, you can say it's nothing, but 3 years in prison is not nothing. That sucks for anybody. But does it fit the crime? I don't know.
I don't know, man. Because me personally, I really can't understand what they had him on trial for. To be honest with you, other than
raping.
I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, but
you can't rape people.
No, you can't. No, I mean, like, that part I get. I'm just saying, like, why so long? Like now, why all of a sudden? Like, why all of a sudden? Why so long? Why now? When we heard this for years, they could have done an investigation for years. They could have, you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot.
No, it's because Cassie came forward with her, what do you call it? Accusation. Cassie came, you know, she's the one that brought it to them. That's why now, because she's the one that brought it to them. And she said he did this. So that's when they started investigating. You know, as far as the Tupac thing, the murder and all that, that's something that they're going to be investigating in the Keefe D trial, which, to kind of segue to that now, new attorneys in the Keefe D case are asking for a postponement. So the trial's been delayed because they're saying that it's overwhelming. There's overwhelming evidence against Keefe D that they need time to you know, be able to analyze and whatnot. So it's not a very good look. But here's the thing. BDP said, I can come up if y'all drop the link. You don't have the link in your email, bro? Check your email, bro. It's there. Did everybody get the link?
Sure.
Yeah, Sharky, you got the link, right? Everybody got the link. Should have got the link. Let me look. You got it, Stu. Obviously, you're
I
here.
definitely got it. Yeah. So I definitely got it.
Let me see. BBGP. Yeah, Big Daddy Beard Gaming Promotions. You got it. Check your email. The one that's the Jaden one. And damn, my bad. I'm all fucking broadcasting my shit. All right, Keefe D's Tupac murder trial delayed due to overwhelming evidence. Keefe D's defense will now have more time to comb through evidence in the Tupac trial, which comes amid other legal problems for him. The mystery of Tupac Shakur's murder continues to captivate audiences, even beyond the upcoming trial that Dwayne Keefe D is facing for it. While we're on the subject, though, Tupac's alleged killer just got a big new update in his case, according to allhiphop.com. All right. A Las Vegas judge reportedly delayed the trial back 6 months to August 10th, 2026, which is not even a month away from the 30-year anniversary of the shooting. As for why this pushback occurred, it is reportedly so that Big BDBGP, what up?
What's good with it? How you
feel? BDBGP, what up? What's the deal?
Salute, fellas.
Right.
Salute.
Salute.
Glad y'all enjoyed that battle. Big shout out.
Yeah, we had a great time.
Yeah, people still
talking, man.
Crazy.
Because you know what? Both of them was dope, man. Their production was good. The beats was dope. You know, both of them had skills on the mic. Yeah, it was a tough one, man. It was a tough one. It's good.
Yeah.
Love it.
Indeed. What we talking about? What's going on?
So right now, I'm talking about what you see on your screen here. Keefe D's trial for killing Tupac. He's been charged with killing Tupac based on his confessions. So basically what happened was this. Keefe D gets busted for a coke charge. And to get some leniency, he offers some information about who kills Tupac, puts it on his cousin Orlando, and they tell him, they give him a proffer, they give him immunity for this story. If you tell us this story, you can't get in trouble for anything that you tell us in this story, is the deal that he makes, right? And so he tells him the whole story. We've all heard the tape. He lays it out, and the detail and everything. There's no question that he's not making this up, like it's for real. So he lays it all out, and whatever, end of story, moves on. So over the years following, Keefe D does a documentary, a couple interviews, which he tells this story again, believing that because he had immunity, that he still has immunity, that anytime he tells this story in any platform, he'll have immunity. Well, that's not how that works. You have immunity while you're in the box talking to us here for the situation. But once that's over, you can't now go walking around telling everyone you killed so-and-so. It's not how it works. So, yeah. So based on his later fucking subsequent confessions, they charge him 2 years ago, I think, at this point. So Las Vegas judge has now delayed the trial 6 months to August 10th, 2026, which is less than a month from the 30-year anniversary of the shooting itself, right? And then as for why this pushback occurred, it's reportedly so that Keefe D's legal team can review an overwhelming amount of evidence in the court's possession. A massive heap of material means that more time will seek to ensure for a more fair process. Well, basically what they're saying is, you guys have so much evidence against us, we need time to build a decent defense. We need more time because this is a lot of shit. You guys have a lot of evidence, right? So instead of like going, oh, you have a lot of evidence against us, I guess they're past the deal time or whatever. So at this point, they have to take time for discovery so they can analyze this evidence, build a new case. So it's not looking good. Reportedly, prosecutors did not push back against Clark County District Court Judge Carly Kearney's decision. Keefe's attorney, Robert Jasganoff, and his newest legal ally as he replaced his earlier lawyer in this case. The decision came shortly after Keefe D received a prison sentence for fighting another inmate in the detention center where he's been since September 2023 over this Tupac case. The shooting. As for Keefe D's sentence for this conviction, it is a 16 to 40 month bid, which will credit it as time served. He's been waiting for this trial for the long time, facing accusations that he organized the drive-by shooting of Tupac in Las Vegas. And like I said, we've all heard the story, but that's Keefe D now. So, and but yeah, Davis, Keefe D's previous words on the matter have complicated both his defense and the arguments prosecutors have against him. This is because of multiple conflicting accounts, retracted statements, changes of the story, and other details. Mainly, Keefe's legal defense rests on his alleged exaggeration of his involvement for the sake of selling products like books and himself in the case of interviews. So basically, the defense is claiming that, Keefe only said this stuff to sell books. He was lying, basically. Which, we remember the first time he told it, it was just him and another cop in a closed room. No one was ever going to hear it. So that's bullshit. But yeah, following the death of alleged gunman Orlando Anderson, which was his nephew, in 1998, because he later got shot. Many others involved in the situation have passed away since then, right? So a lot of people are dead since the Pac shooting that were involved. A lot of them, like bodyguards. You got guys that were involved that there's all kind of conspiracies that why they got taken out and all this, but it's just time, man. It's been a fucking long time, and fucking people die. But Keefe D is now one of the few living souls with a direct connection to it, basically, and he's Orlando Anderson's uncle. So we will see what this trial delay leads to in court and whether or not this Tupac mystery will come to a close.
As old as he is at this point, it's like, why even bothering? He got like maybe 3 more years left to live. You might as well just stay up in there and just do what you got to do. I mean, because if it's been delayed this long, like at August 10th, that's the day before my birthday. That's crazy. So,
the thing is like the prosecution, they don't have any evidence that he killed Tupac. All they have is his own confession,
his own testimony. I was going to say that they covered that up too well. That was covered up too well.
Yeah, and so it's not a strong case because it's not like one of these things where it's a confession and then they can now go investigate the murder and corroborate the confession, right? Because there's nothing to investigate now, right? It's been how many years, right? There's some evidence, but it was never a lot anyway to begin with. They got as far as they could get. They closed the case. So like not much to do, man. And so when you only have just this person's story, they can say, well, I lied. I made it up. I said this, I said that, whatever, and if you don't have any way to prove that, well, you say you lied about it, but we see you were here at this time. We caught you on camera here. This witness sees you, puts you here at this time. They have none of that. So I don't see, it's not really a great chance that he's going to get convicted of killing Tupac, nor do I think that would satisfy anybody anyway. I think the thing with Tupac is it is what it is. It's like the thing with JFK. The government can release the fucking they can release the fucking records they want, all they want, and it still points to Oswald. But is anyone satisfied? Is anyone like, oh yeah, well that must be Oswald then? No,
right.
So it's never going to change, right? Tupac is one of them things. It's a mystery. It'll always be a mystery. It'll always have mystique around it. and because it's something that will never. And it's the same thing with Biggie. They will never be fully solved. There will never be a definitive. Even if someone gets arrested, millions are still going to go, yeah, but I don't buy it.
So here's my question: If he didn't do it, then why? Oh, so he did do it.
Oh, no, Keefe did. Who did? I think Orlando did do it, but Stu said who did? Yeah, but I think he did do it.
I think so too. So it's like, why wait all this time and change up and say, oh, you didn't do it? You didn't do it. You didn't do it. So.
Well, no, I mean, he doesn't want to go to prison for it. That's why he's saying he didn't do it now.
I mean, too late now. He already in the blue outfits.
Right.
He is. Yeah,
but he's not charged with the murder yet, and that's what he's trying to avoid. He's got gun cases. But yeah, they have no gun. They have no witness. They have nothing else that puts him or his alleged 3 co-conspirators in the car, in the location, at the place, at the time. There's nothing. There's just him telling this story. Now, I heard the story. I heard him tell it. I have no doubt in my mind he was telling the truth because of the way he told it. You can't come up with details like that on the fly. He's not that clever. Like, come on. And so like, I'm fully convinced, but it's like they say, there's knowing and then there's being able to prove.
Yeah.
So, but they can play this tape in court and maybe 12 people just like me will be like, yeah, that's exactly what fucking happened. Yeah. And maybe that'll work, but chances are slim because you're going to have one of those 12 assholes is going to go, well, there's reasonable doubt. And that ends that.
Yeah, that is true. Got a point there. I mean, this is crazy for it to go this long and still be unsolved. It's like you see so many other murders or crimes that happen, and yeah, it took some time, but they eventually came down to the result of what happened. Like
JFK.
Yeah.
JFK, RFK, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, all these unsolved murders that we know who the fuck did it, but there's no proof.
Damn, Medgar Evers.
Well, I think they caught the guy that killed Medgar, didn't
they? Yeah, they did, but it was still a conspiracy. Who put him up? See, the thing with those cases like Martin, Malcolm, JFK, RFK, it's not really who did it. It's who told them to do it is the big thing that people want to know. And people want to know who put them up to do that. Like that wasn't no random thing where they just did that, where you just had these people like, I'm going to go shoot John F. Kennedy today. Skip it. I'm out.
Right.
And the access that they had to do it and how they were able to get close to him to do it. You know what I mean? Like, the president's been well protected for a long time, especially since the 19th century. It's hard to get next to a president and kill him. Unless somebody got an inside handle or something like that, man. It's just what it is. And then you had the person that killed him, and then they killed him. The person that killed the person that tried to kill, that killed the president. So that's a conspiracy right there. That ain't never happened before.
Exactly.
So that's all that is. That's just a lot of who was pulling the strings on that.
Or check this shit out. So, prosecution case relies on suspect's own admissions. The case against Davis is built largely on his own words. In a 2008 police interview, he claimed to be in the vehicle from which shots were fired. He implicated others, including music mogul Sean Diddy Combs, alleging a hit was ordered. Prosecutors argue his detailed admissions show direct involvement in the murder plot. No new forensic evidence has been made public. The defense is expected to challenge the credibility and context of these statements. This sets the stage for a trial centered on interpretation. The jury must decide if Davis's own account is enough for conviction. The outcome hinges on his central testimony. Now, remember, this trial was just delayed because the defense says that there's overwhelming evidence that they have to comb through. Well, that's not overwhelming evidence if it's just what Keefe D said. There's now, what else is there, right? So maybe they have found some shit. Maybe there's some shit they've always known about Pac's murder, but could never put out because dots didn't connect. Maybe Keefe D's confession connects a bunch of dots. And now that's the evidence. All they need.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Yeah, I was getting ready to say after Keefe D spilled his guts, that probably just opened up the floodgates right there.
Yep. And then it says the trial promises to revisit the volatile East Coast, West Coast hip-hop rivalry of the 1990s. Tupac was a central figure in that conflict. His death at age 25 left a lasting void in music culture. Fans of Tupac's family trial represents a long-awaited pursuit of accountability, and conclusion may provide some legal resolution. However, the complex web of rumors and allegiances may never fully be untangled. See, the proceeding will be closely watched globally. It represents first major legal action connected to the murder since it occurred. Regardless of the verdict, it will write a new chapter in the story that has fascinated publics for generations. Now, that's the thing, because ever since the murder, there's been a gajillion documentaries. There's never been a case filed. There's no one's ever been charged. No legal action whatsoever has ever been brought. There's been investigations. There's been, one dude that like Russell Poole who fucking ended up killing himself because they didn't believe him about the shit about Biggie and Pac, because he like was deep into it, all that shit. So even if it doesn't go anywhere, I still say this is some crazy shit, bro. Like, think about it. Since 1996, this is the first time anyone's been charged for the murder of Tupac. Are you kidding me? Someone was fucking charged for killing Tupac. Are you kidding me? What? How are we not fucking going bananas right now? That's fucking crazy. That alone is crazy. That someone that a lawyer, that enough lawyers and judges felt there was enough to bring a case for the first time in what, 30 years? What is it?
Yeah.
When Keefe D, quick knowledge drop for you. When is Keefe D trial for Pac's murder? The trial, February, is scheduled to begin in February 2026. Well, I guess it's April. So what is the main evidence? Relies on his own statements that we know of, previously admitted to being in the vehicle. All right. Did Diddy order the hit? Well, that is what they allege. Yes. Why did the case take so long to reach trial? Investigation faced numerous hurdles, including lack of cooperating witnesses and forensic evidence. For years, it was considered a cold case. Davis's own public comments and a renewed investigative focus led to this 2023 arrest. And I remember when I first heard the Keefe D tape when he said the shit to the detectives years ago. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, did you see this? Did y'all see this? And that's it. Like, it never went anywhere. But then later he does some documentary where he tells the story again on camera. And you can see that. I've seen it. I think it's on YouTube. But anyway, it's like his own documentary. And he tells the story again, full detail. I didn't notice anything changing in the story, but I'm sure there was something. I mean, I didn't analyze it, but yeah, there's been no other corroborating evidence. So that story, that confession alone, I don't see it convicting anyone. And if it does convict anyone, if it does convict Keefe D, like I said, you'll still have a large percentage of the fandom and public who just don't buy it. Even though, was anyone ever charged in Pac's murder? Anyone else? No. As of December 2025, Keefe D is the only person ever formally charged in connection with the 1996 murder of Tupac, which I think is insane news. Whereas Suge Knight, currently serving 28 years in prison for driving over a guy. Fuck.
Here's my thing. Let me ask y'all both. Do y'all think Diddy is tied into all of this? Because I've heard a lot of rumors and speculation about that, and I've kind of wondered.
Okay, so Keefe D was chilling, and Puffy and this drug dealer from New York named Zip, were over in LA at a barbecue, let's say. I don't know, it was a party or function, whatever. And they were talking to Keefe D, and the Crips, Southside Crips, were all there. And Puffy's talking shit because he's feeling himself. He's got Zip with him, who's this major drug dealer out of New York City. He's at the height of his power and shit, and all this shit's going on. It's the midst of the beef. East Coast, West Coast, and he's talking shit, and he's like, I'll give y'all $1 million. And they're like, cool, we'll do that shit for $1 million. Puffy goes back, nothing happens, time goes on. Down the road, Orlando Anderson jacks this dude's death row chain. Sometime later, Pac and them are in Vegas. They come out of the Tyson fight. I don't know about you, but after I see a Tyson fight, I'm amped up. I'm ready to knock somebody out my damn self. So they come out of the Tyson fight amped up. Oh, that's the dude that stole what's his name's chain. Pac rushes him. They stomp him out. They thinking nothing. Yeah, we stomped somebody out. Ha, they go along their night. Like everything's cool. They're getting ready to kick it. Suge and Pac are driving. They see some bitches. But guess what? You're in LA. These are real gangsters. Crips are real gangsters. These are real Crips. These ain't Crips from fucking, Maryland. These are real. I'm not saying no bad about nobody. I'm just saying these are real motherfucking gangsters. Okay. Yeah. And they're you don't just stomp one out and nothing's gonna happen behind it. So they're driving around. So Orlando gets stomped out. Rather, he goes back to Keefe D. He's like, okay, Tupac and them just stomped me out. Or rather, someone tells Keefe D, someone just stomped out your nephew Orlando. Believe it was Zip actually. And he's like, it was Zip. And he goes, now's your chance to get Puffy's $1 million. You just stomped your boy out. Go fucking take him out. Go kill him and get $1 million for it. And, avenge your cousin. So they're like, yeah. So they go driving around Vegas. There they see Pac and Suge driving. They roll up next to him. Blah, 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 blah. And they pull off. And then they go and they're like, hey, Puffy, where's our money? After a lot of back and forth and a bunch of bullshit, Puffy finally gives $500,000 to Zip. But Zip, being the gangster that he is, he's like, I got $500,000 in cash in my hands right now. Fuck Puffy gonna do? These dudes are way over in LA, and I got cancer and I'm dying. Fuck it. He keeps the $500,000. So the Crips never get their money, and Puffy gets ripped off. Zip dies of cancer not long later, so no consequences there. The Crips now pissed about not getting their money from Puffy. It's a problem. You're not welcome in LA. Don't come back here, dog. Well, Puffy, being Puffy, I want to throw a party on enemy territory and show that I can do that. So that's where he goes. And of course, they're out there in LA doing what they're doing. And Biggie wants to dip. He's like, I'm not feeling this shit, dog. This shit is not cool. We should not be here. And he wants to leave. And he's got a gig in London, a video shoot or a photo shoot. I forget what it was. And so he goes to pack up to go to the shoot. And as he's getting ready to leave, Puffy finds out that he's going and throws a fit, fucking rushes over, stops him from leaving. No, you can't leave. That night, they go to the party and Biggie gets killed.
Damn.
So you tell me, is Puffy involved?
Yeah, after that story.
Yeah.
After that, yeah. God damn. That's
crazy.
Crazy work.
You know what's crazy about
this? Dog, I know you got to go.
Yeah, I got to roll. It's crazy about that whole thing. That's the #1 show on Netflix right now. Damn.
Oh, the documentary?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Beat out Stranger Things.
Yeah, damn, man.
Stranger Things are going to beat them out the
water. All right, bro.
But you know what's just so crazy about this? It's just sad because, like, with Diddy, you were like this mogul, this icon. Like, if I were him, I would have focused on continuing to build Bad Boy and make sure all those artists continue to flourish with the music and doing their thing. Like, that's where his focus should have continued to remain. No matter how much money you started to accumulate, like, that's where it should have remained at. Helping grow this empire to that next level. Like I said, he had a crazy roster and a bench. It was like, Bad Boy was like OKC at one point. Like, I mean, you had a crazy starting five. You know, you had everybody on the bench. I mean, even the new acts that he was bringing in, dope. So it's just like, why do all this other mess that you know?
Well, that's it. I mean, that because he's a defective personality. He's a fucking sociopath. Like, he's a narcissist.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Not like, oh, you're being a narcissist. No, like, he's a clinical narcissist, like a narcissistic personality type shit, and that comes from a childhood, a fucked up childhood, and a narcissistic mother, and no father, and that all that combined with his own narcissism and and probably poorly fucking developed frontal lobe, he's a fucking psychopath. There's no, you know what I mean? There's no logic to it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he chose to not build Bad Boy up or whatever. He just, in his mind, that is what he was doing. What you're saying, what you would have done in his mind, that is what he was doing. In his mind. In his fucked up mind.
But I would have continued to do it. Like, you know, especially.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying. He feels like he was continuing to do it. In his mind, that's what he was doing. You see what I'm saying? In his mind, that's what he was doing. That's how fucked up it is. In his mind, that's how you do that, right? In his mind, what he was doing, that's how you do that.
True.
You know, and that's just, we just see shit differently than he do. He just sees shit differently than we do. Which, you know, listen, that's how you get to that type of fame and that type of stardom. You don't get that big. You don't get to a Puffy level without being a fucking despicable, psychopathic fucking motherfucker. Because he was like who the producer dude said he brought him in the room and threw a fucking flick on with a dude knocking off another dude, a brother knocking off a Caucasian man, like, and said to him, Puffy said to him, "This is how you get in to the business."
Oh, hell no.
Yeah. The dude was looking at the porno and shit, and he was like, "What the fuck?" And he was looking all weird. And Puffy said, Puffy looked at me, and he could see that I was feeling weird about it. And he's like, "No, it's okay, bro. This is how you get in."
Hell no. There's so many other ways, man, without having to resort to that. Like, that's just...
No, well, is there?
Yeah.
To that level, right? Yeah, you could be a papoose or whatever, but can you be a Kanye or a Puffy without sacrificing your mom or some shit? I don't know.
But look at people like Dr. Dre and all that. You don't, I mean, outside of like the assault situation, I mean, look where he's at. And you don't hear nothing about the Illuminati and all that stuff with him, or even like, you know, I mean,
you don't hear about, you hear about it with Jay-Z, remember?
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, of course, we've all heard that. Like the whole diamond with the eye, right?
Yeah,
but that's the thing. You wouldn't hear about it. Like the theory is, anyway, the conspiracy is that all these top, you know, Tom Cruise level celebrities are into this weird shit. And how would we know? We don't know. It's not like they're not putting it on blast. No one's talking about it. So it's not like we know what they're doing unless they get caught doing some weird shit. And time after time, they do. They be getting caught. All this shit gets exposed, and everyone just acts like, oh, well, it was just them. It's just them. It's a fucking whole industry. You think they it's a tight circle. Think about it. When you're in that level, there's only 10 of you. There's only so many guys. There's only so many people at that level. You don't think they know each other?
Right. All mutual.
Who else could you communicate? Who else could ever understand you? Who else could you ever talk to? That's not a billionaire super celebrity, you know, that would understand or be able to relate. So you know, you're probably gonna feel alone until you get around your peers. So I'm sure they know each other, and I'm sure they do weird shit. Okay, I'll give you a perfect example, right?
Right.
On some conspiracy theory confirmation shit.
Yeah.
Every time Diddy had these particular freak offs with this one dude where he would make Cassie have sex with the dude while he would sit there and take care of himself or join in or whatever, right? He said that it was always on March 9th, the day Biggie was killed. He said Puffy always made us do this on March 9th as a ritual on Biggie's death.
Wow.
Then he skeets off on a t-shirt of Biggie and throws it at him and says, rest in peace, Biggie. After he nuts on it.
He said, take that, literally.
Take that.
That's wild. Man. What?
So, I don't believe. See, here's the thing: the conspiracies, they say, well, it's Satanism and they're part of the Illuminati, and I don't necessarily buy all that per se. Like, it's whatever. But are they on some sick sexual shit? Yeah, I believe that 1,000% that they are, because you know why? Because you got to think about it. Okay, we know how humans are, right? So when a human being gets their fill of one thing, that becomes no longer exciting, right? Now that's not getting me off anymore. So when you're that rich and you're that much of a billionaire, you're in this whole other world that most people aren't a part of, right? You've done every single thing a human can do. You've experienced everything a human can experience. You've had every pleasure, everything. You've done it all. What's left? Weird shit. You got to make up shit at this point. You got to start doing weird shit. You got to get freaky, you know what I'm saying, just to get off, just to be excited anymore. So it stands to reason, in my opinion, it tracks that these mega rich moguls, I mean, Epstein, Trump, forget about it. Trump, like, what's the speculation? He had a fucking, I guarantee you he had a hut on that island. He stayed on that fucking island. He was homies with Epstein. There's no question in my mind. Come on, man. We seen the manifest. If
crazy.
Clinton went there, we know Trump went there. They've said it. They've said Trump said, Epstein said they were best fucking friends. But, people want to act like whatever, and it's like whatever. But, my point being, when you get to that level of money and power, that's what happens. Power corrupts, right? Power corrupts. So, we've seen it. That's what we're seeing. I think that's what I think we're seeing. I think we're seeing power corrupting a weak-willed man, right? Because look at Puffy. Anytime you see these people, right? Look at who they were when they were young, before they blew up, before they got on. Puffy was a fucking nerd. He was a corny. He was a fucking geeky, little, just pipsqueak, just wimp, bro. And then so he felt very insecure. And so he gets a little power. It's like with some of these police officers, they were nerds, got beat up in high school. Now they're a cop, so they take it out on fucking everybody else now.
Right.
Same thing. I think that's what Puffy is doing. I think he's making up for, lost time, whatever, making up for time when he was whatever. He's fucked up.
That makes sense. And now it's like we can understand better with like some of these movies and stuff that we're starting to see, like I don't know if you've seen Don't Blink. It kind of correlates to like what we're talking about right now. Crazy movie. If you get a chance, check it out. It's wild. Oh, you seen it?
I think I've seen it.
With Channing Tatum?
Yeah. I saw it. Hang on, let me.
And then even him with Marlon Wayne, same thing. I had to rewatch that again, and just like some of that stuff they talked about, it just like it ties into all of this. So it makes sense. Like you said, it's that power and that corruption. It does something.
Oh, Don't Blink, the one where they go out to that place and they like drug the people and
drug them and stuff with the flour and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. and then they don't have any recollection or memory of what happened, and then they finally start to catch on, they piece everything together, and it just turns into straight madness.
Well, that's what a lot of these people are claiming Diddy did to them. Like that dude, like he's, claiming that, and really Aubrey O'Day, like all these people claiming that Diddy, drugged them. And, we have to, we found out Bill Cosby was doing it. So if Bill Cosby was doing it, I definitely have no problem believing that fucking P. Diddy was doing it. Like if I had to wrap my mind around the fact that fucking, that Cliff Huxtable was on some shit like that, it's not hard for me to imagine Diddy.
Right, and it's crazy because I met Bill back when my mom went to Temple and stuff. Cool as hell too. It's just like, damn, America's
bro.
You would have never thought.
I'm saying he probably is 100. He probably is official with everything that we believed about him. Plus, he drugged chicks and had sex with their unconscious bodies. Like, what the fuck? Like, but like, that's the shit. Like, you, I don't know, man. I guess some people, because it's not anyone. Like, personally, I don't care, and. But I like to think that if I got to that level, I'm not gonna do none of that shit.
Oh, dude.
Like you know what I mean? That's not any inkling that I've ever had. But like maybe they never had that inkling either. Maybe they didn't know. Maybe all of a sudden something happens to you and there's nothing you can do about it. But I don't think everyone, is like that. I think it's probably, there's already something there kind of under the surface. There's already a loose screw or something, and then fucking, when they finally get some money and power, that shit goes nuts. Yeah. Inevitably.
No doubt about that. Just sad. It's like you work hard to get to this point in life, you reach this pinnacle. It's like just get your money and live your life. I was listening to Bruno Mars. He had interviewed one time, and he was talking about like he doesn't pop out unless he has to do like shows, performances, interviews. He's like, that's it. The rest of the time, he's just staying in the house, chilling, living day-to-day life, just doing the regular things like we do on a regular basis. I'm like, that's how you got to do it. I'm not saying, not to party and have fun, but it's just like,
right?
Why live a normal life? You get a chance to do the stuff we'll never, I'm not going to say never, but it'll probably take us years and a certain amount of time to do. You get to do it just like that. And it's like, this is what you want to convert to? This?
Well, like you have all this money and power, but you don't use it to go meditate in Tibet with the Dalai Lama,
right?
Like you don't go to Wu-Tang Mountain in China. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that's what the shit I'm on. I get that kind of money, I'm gonna become I'll be floating in the air and shit. You want see? I'll be glowing and shit like Leroy. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna use all. I'll be all over.
Exactly.
I'm trying to learn and get better and become the most ethereal being I can. But this guy's trying to debauch more and more. Like they said he's in his 50s, bro. So you're 50 years old trying to hang out, bro, doing Molly and shit, bro. I'm 46 and I'm not clubbing no more, bro. I'm not trying to do that shit now. Hang with these kids. The fuck is wrong with you, bro? He's dead. And doing the shit with your son. Chinese finger trapping chicks with your son.
That's the I always said it too, Reno. Like they give money to the wrong people. It's like give us that money. People like us who really work hard, who really make things happen and are doing big things, hustling, grinding. Like we deserve that money. Not people like that, because it's like look how they abuse it.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. That's what I'm saying. I guess that kind of brings us back to my original point. It's like to get to that level, you got to be willing to do shit that most of us ain't willing to do.
Yeah. It's just
but to get to our next and final topic of the evening, what does Netflix buying Warner Brothers mean for DC Comics? Because we've now found out that Netflix is buying Warner Brothers, DC Comics, not DC, not like the WB TV shows and stuff though, just DC, just Warner Brothers Studios, and DC. So after months of debate, all the speculation, the twists and the turns, the Warner Brothers Discovery auction process finally has a winner. Following this first round of non-bidding bids for the assets on November 20th, Warner Brothers Discovery set a new deadline for a second round of offers to take place on December 1st. It was then that Netflix submitted a very attractive, almost all-cash bid. And then now, following that, it's become official. Netflix won the bidding war for Warner Brothers Discovery. Bloomberg first reported the news, which was then corroborated by The Hollywood Reporter and Variety. The streamer has now entered exclusive negotiations with Warner Brothers Netflix Discovery to acquire its film and TV studio, as well as the streaming service HBO Max. Per Bloomberg, the companies could close a deal in the coming days. And then, it also revealed that Warner Brothers Discovery will complete its planned split from its cable networks, right? Like TNT, TBS, and CNN, and the WB TV shows and what, for before closing the sale with Netflix. The new entity carrying those brands will be known as Discovery Global, and the spinoff is expected to be completed by mid-2026. So the sale process is not yet complete, but talks between the two could still technically fall apart. Then, even if the deal does close, the companies still have, to pass through the regulatory process. And should regulators reject the deal, Netflix has offered a $5 billion breakup fee for the failed transaction. So even if they fail this, Netflix still has to give $5 billion to Warner Brothers. And just to, it's hard to kind of overstate how much of a shift this merger, should it close, could introduce to the entertainment industry. Prior to the announcement, CNBC Business News David Faber revealed Netflix had emerged as the strongest contender in the race after submitting the highest bid, saying, what we can share at this point, according to the people familiar with the situation, is Netflix is in the lead of the bidding war for Discovery. But then Netflix was their offer was approximately $28 per share. Paramount, meanwhile, who was seeking control of the entire company, studio, and cable networks alike, is said to have offered an estimated $27 per share, up from its previously proposed $23.50 from October. The increase came on the heels of the company reportedly seeking out the backing of their 3 Middle Eastern entities for its latest bid. But leading up to the Netflix winning the bidding war, Paramount appeared to consider the streamer as a threat in pursuit to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery. It was recently revealed that the company, through its attorneys, had sent a letter to Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav expressing concerns over the fairness of the ongoing bidding process. And in that document, Paramount specifically identified Netflix as being the most favored potential buyer in the process. So assuming that Netflix and Warner Brothers reach a deal in the coming days, there are still regulatory issues to be cleared. So they're now facing the heavy pushback from Hollywood. Variety reported that a consortium of individuals in the industry have submitted a letter full of alarm to Congress regarding the potential pitfalls of a merged Netflix Warner Brothers Discovery. So the letter is said to have been emailed anonymously to members of Congress, with the authors identifying themselves as concerned future film producers. According to the trade, the consortium included multiple high-profile creatives. So we're talking maybe Quentin Tarantino and Scorsese or some shit, right? The email delayed fears over a potential Netflix-Warner Brothers merger, stating that such an acquisition could significantly damage theatrical distribution. So in other words, we're really going to see the death of the movie in the theater, right? Because Netflix is all about streaming. They're not about movie theater releases, whereas Warner Brothers is easily, one of the biggest film producers in the world. And you take that out of the game, then other big companies follow suit, and pretty soon movie theaters are shutting down over the country. And then, of course, our grandkids never know what a fucking movie in a theater looks like.
Yeah.
So, but another source disputed that and stating that theatrical windows Netflix would establish would be longer. The message included a request for Congress to give potential merger between the two the highest level of antitrust scrutiny. So now it remains to be seen how the negotiations between Netflix and Warner Bros. Will go and what the ramifications will be on the industry. Trump gets involved because he buys stock illegally, and now Netflix. So according to insiders, the deal is not safe. The buzz inside Hollywood is that powerful creatives are preparing to push back hard, and the Trump administration may end up being the unexpected force that shuts the entire thing down. Hollywood creatives reportedly rallying against the deal, saying they described this wild scenario happening among industry veterans who don't want Netflix taking over Warner Brothers, and the sentiment is widespread. The fear Netflix eliminates theatrical value, downsizes the studio, and shrinks the brands, including DC Comics. It's including DC Studios, the DCU, everything. So, according to insiders, the belief circulating is that Hollywood figures might openly back the Trump administration to block the merger, which would be a first that Hollywood ever sided with Trump. And A-list filmmakers anonymously have urged Congress to oppose Netflix buying Warner Brothers, and the Directors Guild, led by Christopher Nolan, has already responded, saying this is just the beginning. No one in Hollywood wants it, and Trump may be a hero for stopping the merger. The internal mood right now is of anxiousness, volatility, and that they're all ready for a fight. Zack Snyder still holds an edge. Regarding the Snyderverse, the insiders add that Zack Snyder is uniquely positioned in all of this, pointing that Joe Manganiello hashtagging sell to Netflix as proof that Snyder's camp sees opportunity. Because we all know that Netflix has really gone out for Zack Snyder and really, gave him all kinds of shit, movies and all that. So Netflix needs content, and they aren't tied to theatrical windows that would pour money into Snyder's finishing his story or even funding a Dark Knight Returns adaptation. And so there's also another wild scenario that if DC opens up character licensing outside the studio system, Netflix could support a Russo brothers Zack Snyder / DC versus Marvel crossover, something that traditional studios would scoff at. And so there's potential pluses, potential minuses, pros and cons. The fear that Netflix will downsize DC Comics and restructure the studios. Netflix has no interest in maintaining a publishing division, right? DC Comics could be shrunk or stripped to IP management. The studio would shift towards one-off films and Netflix-style franchises. No more DCU, no more, Other studios could license DC characters if Netflix embraces an open model. It could be fucked up to where, there's 5 studios and they're all making a Superman movie, right? Or there's 5 studios and they make a Superman movie, they make a Batman movie, they make a Green Lantern movie, but they're not related in any way. And when you watch the Green Lantern movie, it's like there is no Batman or Superman. When you watch the Batman movie, it's like Superman never existed, and vice versa. The way movies used to be before the MCU changed all that. It goes back to that, right? So this is definitely a problem, a big problem if this happens, and creating chaos, whatnot. But it also creates opportunities for guys like Zack Snyder. But Netflix is lean, and there are no heads of divisions, only subordinates reporting into one central structure. There's no Dan Lin and his lieutenants call the shots. There's no boss. And Netflix insiders would want Mike DeLuca and Pam Abney running WB Films. They want all film and TV fully consolidated. So no TV studio and no movie studio. That means movies and TV shows are all going to be the same quality. Oh boy. Yay. No meaningful power center for DC, which means limited authority goes for James Gunn and Peter Safran, if at all. This could force Gunn and Safran completely out. Gunn may use Netflix as his exit. Gunn has the opportunity to bail with the excuse that Netflix is too limiting. He pushed everything way too fast, but he may ride out this last year and bail with the Netflix excuse. So nobody actually knows what happens next. The insider stressed that Warner Brothers Discovery employees and creatives are in uncharted waters, saying nobody in the building right now actually knows what's going to happen, including Gunn. Everyone is waiting to see whether the regulators are going to step in, whether Trump intervenes, whether Hollywood's brewing backlash can slow the move. But right now, the only thing certain is uncertainty and looming, this looming industry battle, right? There's a storm coming, Mr. Wayne.
Yeah, this sounds like some United Nations type shit. Like, damn, like everybody getting involved.
Facts.
All of that. Like, man, that's wild. I'm not surprised about the potential murder. Well, I'm kind of surprised about Netflix, but I'm not surprised that one of these companies is going to end up trying to like pick them up. Same thing like how what Disney did with Marvel, how they did that merger now. So this kind of isn't a shock to me, but I mean, yeah, it's sounding like it's like you said, it's kind of sounding like a win-lose situation. I mean, win for them because more money, but a loss because now it's like it might leave a lot of DC fans disappointed if they don't really go full throttle with all the upcoming content if this merger does go through. So that's kind of what it's sounding like. So, like you said, definitely pros and cons to that. I'm not a big DC fan, I'll be honest. I've always been Marvel, but yeah, I mean,
I'm a Marvel guy, 100%. Never. Yeah. Only DC thing I fucked with was Batman, which I fuck with super hard. Like Batman is my guy. Like Batman, one of my favorite characters, easily up there with Wolverine and Cable. But other than Batman, don't know or care really much about DC. Thing is this, I'm a comic fan, and the MCU since Endgame has not been for comic fans. It's been for the casual audience, to using comic book characters to make movies for the casual fandom, but not making comic book movies. Well, what James Gunn is doing is he's making comic book movies for comic fans because James Gunn is a comic book nerd. You will see James Gunn in a fucking comic shop digging through the crates. You will not see Kevin Feige in a comic store. Not like that. Like Gunn is a real comic nerd. So whether he's a DC guy or not, he just got the job at DC. So that's the characters he's gonna work with. And if you look at everything, his whole model, the DCU versus the MCU, is writing first, characters, the script, the story. That's what we're caring about. That's what matters. All the rest is dressing. The MCU, message first, agenda first, right? We want, what was that?
Did it disconnect?
What? What are you talking about? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, bro? Oh, you dropped off? Oh, let me. There you go. Can you hear me, bro? Oh, you dropped off? You can hear me now, bro?
Yeah. I don't know what happened there.
All right. No worries.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Technical issues. No biggie. What was I saying?
You were talking about the DC merger and everything. About
well, no, like basically the movies that Gunn is making are just like comic books in live action. They have that vibe of like a comic book, whereas the MCU movies are more like a big blockbuster movie, right? It's all about it's a big blockbuster. It's a movie. It just has comic book characters. At least the names are there. They might not look like them. They might not be the same race or gender as them, but they got the name. Whereas DC is like, here's a story you read from comics. We're going to basically adapt that and make a movie, like straight up, like, or we're going to take the vibe of like this comic and make a movie. It's just like it. And so as a comic book fan, I get more out of the DCU movies so far than I have out of MCU since Endgame. Like I haven't since Endgame. There's like probably 5 MCU movies that I haven't finished watching. Like I did not finish the Eternals. I couldn't get through it. Thor: Love and Thunder, I couldn't get 20 minutes in. The Marvels, nope. Bro, none of these movies could I finish. There's more, but like
the only one I did finish was the Fantastic Four, the First Steps. I like that one. I thought that was good.
Yeah, Fantastic Four is good. Well, anything since like so far since since Deadpool has been okay. Like Deadpool and Wolverine was good, and like Fantastic Four is good. Because I think they're learning that what they've been doing since Endgame has not been clicking, right? It's not what it is, right? It's bullshit. And basically they're evolving, right? And so we're starting to see like Wolverine and Deadpool very much felt like they were trying to tap into comic fans. You had Gambit coming in there looking comic accurate. Wolverine finally wore the mask. All kinds of shit that comic fans have been screaming at MCU to do, but they didn't do because of Hollywood, Hollywood reasons or whatever.
Absolutely.
And but yeah, so even though I'm not a big DC fan per se, I'm really rooting for the DCU and James Gunn, because it's setting a precedent that I think Marvel will follow. They're realizing that it's, that shit is dope, right? It's what fans are really liking, really responding to. And when you have a fandom that's responding positively to something, that attracts the wider public. If you're trying to make a fucking, movie about race cars, right? Or a franchise about race car drivers, and all the race car drivers watch the movies and say, yeah, that's real. That's just realistic. It's really dope. I really like that shit. That shit is, I'm into that. I want to see more. Well, all the people who hear that are going to go, oh, the race car driver said that race car movie is really authentic. Let's go see it.
Yeah.
Well, why is that different with comics? All the comic fans are telling you this is bullshit. When the comic fans tell you, wow, this is the shit, other people are going to go, oh, everyone's saying this is dope. Let's go see it. So it stands to reason. It made no sense what Disney did. Disney basically bought Marvel and then thought that they were going to make it their own thing and take it away from the fans who've grown up with it for decades and decades and change it into something else, and it just doesn't work. You know why? Because the people that they're trying to appease never gave a fuck about it in the first place.
Right.
They're not going to care about it now. Exactly. So you're wasting your time, and now they're finally slowly realizing it and begrudgingly admitting it and doing shit like Deadpool and Wolverine, and then with Fantastic Four, they're on the right track because it very much looked and felt like a comic book in that regard. But of course, they modernized the characters, but we accepted it because it was a different universe. This wasn't the Fantastic Four from the main Marvel universe. This is the Fantastic Four from some side pocket multiverse where Silver Surfer's a female and all this shit. It's all different. Johnny Storm is not, a ladies' man. He's not a womanizer. He's not that kind of guy. Like his character is completely different. But it fits modern social media points of view, and that's who they're trying to appease. And so, it was a mixed one for me, because like, while I loved it visually, I was a little just kind of like, man, I still really miss the characters that I grew up with.
Exactly. And it's interesting because I had a debate about this with my boys back in college when I was in New York. I was telling them, like, these movies, they're great, but they got to pay homage to the comics. Like, they have to showcase the essence of what we came up watching and enjoying. It's like, don't start switching characters up. Don't change them. It's not like a racial thing or a sexist thing. If we saw a character this way, then that's how they should be portrayed in the live adaptations. For example, like when they did Daredevil, when they made Kingpin black, I'm sitting here like, wait, hold up. And again, it has nothing to do with race, but I've always known Kingpin to be, the big, gigantic white club bouncer. All glory to Michael Clark Duncan, rest in peace. But still, it's like, that's not Kingpin. That's not the Kingpin I remember watching the comics, reading the comics, and watching the Fox Kids shows and all that stuff. This is how I always saw Kingpin. So this is how he should be portrayed in every single adaptation. The Hulk shouldn't be Asian. Doctor Strange isn't black. Like this, Wolverine's not Chinese. It's like, stick to what we always know, and that's so I'm definitely with you on that one. It drives me nuts.
It's like make them recognizable. At least let us be able to see on the screen who it is without you having to explain who it is. That's all I want. That's it. I don't want you to have to tell me this is such and such. I want to be able to look at the screen and go, oh, that's such and such. Like that's because these are iconic characters. You're using iconic characters. They need to be iconic, but you're taking away the iconography and just making it your own new thing. Then it's like, well, who's a fan of it now? Because the fans of it it's not their thing. And then these and new people aren't fans of it because they're new people. So they're not fans of it yet. And historically, these have been
like, what are we doing? It's just like a while back.
Oh, you froze up. Damn, he said, yo, you froze up, bro. EGC, what up, man? Peace.
Just doing some YouTubing right now, watching some shit. But yeah, I'll be around. I might jump in at some point. Go up to the man cave. I was going to go up to the man cave anyway, so I'll be watching at least the beginning. I'll talk to you.
All right, well. Well, let me I guess BDB GP will be back momentarily. In the momentations. Okay. Yo, yes, I'm about to get on that cosmic, what you call it. What up, bro?
Yes, I don't know what's going on. Crazy technical issues. But
no.
What was I saying? Oh, so like for example, and this bugged me out. A while back, Andrew Garfield, when they were trying to get him to reprise his role as Spider-Man, I don't know who was interviewing him, but he was hinting at the fact that like trying to make Spider-Man homosexual. I'm like, wait, hold up. Like, we're not gonna do that to my goat. Like, Spider-Man has never been that way. So why now all of a sudden are you trying to get him to adapt to that type of lifestyle? Like, what, to appeal to the audience today? Like, come on. And again, nothing against gay people. It's like,
you don't like Andrew Garfield?
No, I mean, Andrew Garfield is cool, but
you don't like his version of the Spider-Man. You don't like his version of Peter Parker.
I mean, it's okay. Like, honestly, I like Toby, and he would probably be number 3 next to like Toby and what's his face?
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. Yeah, but it's like, It's like, come on, Andrew, like, don't do that. Don't sit up here and try to appeal to the audiences and talk about Spider-Man resorting to this type of lifestyle. Spider-Man's never been like that. We read the comics. All the Johns that he had, from Mary J to Gwen Stacy. Hell, he even had Craven's John at one point, Calypso. So it's like, so now Spider-Man's in the guys. Like, come on. And nothing against him.
What are you talking about, bro?
Huh?
What are you talking about?
I was talking about like how they try to change up certain characters and get.
Wait. When did Andrew Garfield's Peter become gay? What are you talking about?
No. He didn't become it, but he was saying like in future roles that it was a possibility that they were thinking about doing that, like the companies and stuff. And I was just like, wait, whoa, like I think they got rid of the interview, but this was like years ago.
I never heard nothing like that, bro. That's news to me. Andrew Garfield, I think Andrew Garfield is the best Peter Parker. I think Tobey Maguire movies are the best movies. And I think Tom Holland is the worst adaptation of Spider-Man because
think so?
Yeah, he's just I mean, I don't know. For me, he's a little bit neurotic and just too hyper and shit. It's like, I don't know, relax, bro. And then Toby was just too cornball. It's like, you know, everyone's gripe with Garfield was like he's too cool. Like Andrew, like Peter was more of a nerd than that. And it's like, no, he wasn't, bro. He always got the bombshell. He had the baddest chick in high school all the time. Like he was a nerd before he got bit by the spider. But once he became Spider-Man, he was very far. The whole point of Spider-Man was that it was about a nerd becoming cool, basically. Now he can, you know, beat up the bully in high school. Now he gets the hottest girl in high school. Now he can beat up the wrestler. Now he's, you know, super. It was Amazing Fantasy 15 was a story for, you know, little nerdy kids to feel like they could one day, you know, get powers and be the cool guy and get the girl and all that shit. So that was the whole point of Spider-Man. So miss me with that. He's supposed to be a geek and all that. Because no, Spider-Man is not supposed to be a geek. Not at all. Not Peter Parker. And I don't know. I think Andrew Garfield is easily the best actor of the three. But I never heard him saying anything about Peter Parker being gay. I mean, he was with Gwen Stacy. Like,
yeah, that's why I don't understand like why they were trying to like. I guess they were trying to appeal to today's society with it. Like this was an interview from like way back, but I think they ended up like cutting it. But it bugged me out when I heard that, and I was just like, and that it kind of made me look at them differently. But apparently it was like rumors or something like that was what they were thinking about doing. But I'm glad they did.
They never had no plans of doing that. None. I can tell you that because I know what the plan for Amazing Spider-Man 3 was going to be. And so no, there was never any plans to make Peter gay. That's just some made up bullshit, bro. That's some AI shit. I promise you. But
because I'd have been like, hell no, some type of way. Like, what we doing? Like, come on. And
but they you know, I think the Amazing Spider-Man movies were not the best movies of Spider-Man, but I think he's the best Peter Parker. But you know, if you mix the three movies, I mean, they're all fine. They all have their merits. They all have their pros and cons. Like I have lots of gripes with the Amazing. I have lots of gripes with the Toby's, and I got lots of gripes with the Tom Hollands. But that's because I'm a fan. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of Spider-Man. I've been a fan since I was a little kid, and so I'm gonna have opinions, and I'm gonna have my sort of outlook of what I think it should be. But that's my own personal shit. Like I'm never gonna be like, you know, on my soapbox, like, oh, they gotta do this, they gotta do that. Nah, bro, like, cause you just said, like, you feel the opposite way. So like that's fine. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the beauty of this shit because we can all have our own opinions. The thing is if something is a certain way and it's been a certain way, we can all have our opinions of it, of whatever, but you don't change it based on those opinions.
Exactly.
You keep it the same way and then let people have their opinions because obviously it's been around since the 60s. It must not be that bad. It must be something about it that we need to fucking keep going.
Yeah, I think if anything, you know, just make the stories more interesting. Like really go back to the comics and showcase some of those things some of those elements and moments that happen in those comics. That's what they need to do instead of trying to do these changes and adaptations to adapt to today's society. It's like, no, like there's tons of comics, tons of stories, tons of history that they can use to turn into adaptations. Like, they need to do that with all of them. X-Men, Spawn, like all of them. I'm glad they're actually starting to they're going to make Spawn more kind of like not necessarily like a more like an anti-hero with this next one. So I'm glad that Top and Marvel is taking over with this one versus whoever that was that did that first one, because that was an abomination. I can't believe that.
It wasn't the best. It wasn't the best. No. But
you could tell it was rushed. They rushed it like Annihilation. It was that type of rush. Like,
yeah, it was just well, then the graphics weren't very horrible too.
That's it.
but it's unfortunate that DC is the company that James Gunn got the helm, because I would have much rather see James Gunn doing a Marvel universe. Guardians of the Galaxy, I think, are hands down the best MCU movies.
Oh yeah.
And I've been a fan of everything James Gunn's done. All these people were so skeptical. I don't know. It's like, well, what did he do that you're not a fan of? And no one could ever name anything. Like, you like everything he's done, so why are you worried about it? You're afraid his style isn't gonna match. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah. It's the Justice League. It's all about teams, right? So he's good at doing ensemble shit with teams, mixing action and comedy and rated R humor and all that stuff that comics are made of. Like, comics are not PG. Comics are rated R. Like, if you adapted a comic fully on screen, it would get an R rating. So what's this thing about comics are for kids and we can't make R-rated movies because kids can't? What the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
Kids, first of all, would prefer an R-rated movie, by the way. Second of all, I think the fandom now is largely made of adults. So, it stands to reason. And then now the most successful R-rated movie of all time was Wolverine versus Deadpool. The most successful R-rated movie, not comic movie, R-rated film of all time is a comic movie. So let's start making more R-rated comic films and watch that shit blow up. Watch what happens. It'll be insane, bro. Like, you can still have your PG movies and your PG-13 and have your PG TV shows and all that, but every character needs an R-rated film.
I still can't believe that with Deadpool Wolverine. I'm like, damn, that is amazing.
Yes. To me, it makes sense though. Like, to me, it makes perfect logical sense because you take, comics, stuff that's wildly popular.
You still there?
And then, you can't hear me now? Your thing fucked up again. You take something that's wildly popular,
Keep going internet. Hold on, let me try that.
You make it applicable and appealing to adults. And kids aren't going to the movies. Like, mostly the people that go, I mean, I don't know, I guess it's a mixed bag, but today, I think more adults are feeling more nostalgic for the theater. Young people really don't care. And then at the same time, a lot of adults are more than happy to sit at home on the couch and watch a movie. You know what I mean? Like me, I'm more than happy to watch a movie streaming. Like a lot of movies I don't see in the theater, I catch them at home.
Yeah.
So and
it's kind of starting to lose interest a little bit, unless it's like a really highly anticipated movie. I think like the last thing I actually went to see was I saw the Demon Slayer movie with my lady.
Oh wow, that's been a minute.
Yeah, because I
think for me with Superman was the last thing I saw. So it's been a minute. Yeah,
and then that's the thing too. Like this is why like streaming is about to become even bigger, because most of these movies now they're not even staying that long in the theater.
Yeah. No, they're going right to streaming.
Apps, they're already starting to catch them. Even like some of the the apps and stuff where they show all the free movies and whatnot, they're getting everything like early. So it's almost kind of like, you know, what's the point even really hitting the movies and stuff? And then too, the theaters are getting like way more expensive now, like the prices and just
they have to because nobody's going. They got to make their money. It's insane. A fucking cup of soda, $7.
That's nuts. And it don't even be like the big cup either. It'd be like some shit like this.
Yeah.
It's like $7 for this. I'll sneak shit into the theater. Like,
bro, my pockets be loaded. I go to Dollar Tree, get a bunch of fucking candies and shit, grab a fucking bottle of soda. Shit, I'm not paying.
We from up north. We know how to do it. We know how to have that Nathan Drake backpack from Uncharted and walk in there.
I got my jacket on, my hoodie under that. I'm good.
Right.
Look like couple cargo pockets. Yeah, you come in that bitch shaking.
Exactly. But yeah, to your point though, they got to get back to like really checking out the comics, really reading them, researching, and like making sure that these movies and TV shows fit that format. And I feel like it would be really entertaining too, like if they stuck to that criteria like they did before, because all those movies that we came up, all those ones that were based off the comics, they were good, they were entertaining, and tons of replay value. So so they got to get back to that. Otherwise, they're going to lose interest, and now it's going to have to take these type of mergers for them to even get that type of thing that they want. So it's like, rather than focus so much on the money, it's like, think about the entertainment value. Get back to how it should have been, and like it'll keep us entertained, because like you said, I'm even like now I'm seeing more and more adults who are bigger fandoms than like the kids now. Back then it was more so. Now it's like people our age that, you know, got all the collectibles and the toys and stuff. My second job that I do on the side, I go to Target and like a couple other stores similar to it, and I have to work the shelves and stuff with all the different little collectibles and stuff. The way they go through all that stuff is insane. Like those Funko dolls, they be running through those shits. And I'm like, damn, like I didn't even think, you know, I mean, I knew they were popular, but I didn't think that many people were engaged to it. It'd be
at Target?
Yeah, Target.
You work at Target?
I don't work at Target, but I'm a vendor. So Target's one of the stores that I hit. So like pretty much every week.
You bring toys? You deliver toys?
No, so they have the shipments in the back. So I go and get them and I like restock everything. But the way that whole entire shelf looks when I walk in there every single time, it is just like empty. Like damn near it's a mess, because they're just grabbing every single thing. And I'm like, damn, it's crazy. And they got everything, all the anime stuff, all the Funko collectibles and stuff like that. Everything from every TV series, comic, movie. They just run through it. And it mainly be like adults, like people our age, because I'm 41. So it's just like, damn, you would never even thought they were like this big of like fandoms and stuff, but they be going through it. I barely see any kids.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. Are you telling me this whole time, bro? Wait a minute. We got to talk. All right. When Target, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
If Target is releasing a new action figure, will you see that shit before it gets to the floor?
Yeah.
We got to talk. All right. So when Hasbro does a Target exclusive, I'm going to hit you up because they're impossible to fucking get.
Yeah.
So, yeah, bro.
I'll take pictures so
I
you
need
can
an
see.
inside man. Yeah.
I'll take photos and send it so you can see like some of the stuff that comes in, because it'd be dope.
No, I know what's coming. When I'll tell you, I'll be like, yo, they're getting ready to get such and such on such and such, and I need it. And if you can get it,
yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Hell yeah, bro. Because I've been when Hasbro does a Target exclusive, right? They make it. First of all, their stock is very small. I don't know what they do. And they sell out. Like if you try to go online, they sell out. The pre-orders sell out within seconds because they let scalpers run bot shopping cart bots. They come in and so like a system instantly, like in a millisecond, it orders fucking the whole stock or whatever. And so like they sell out right away so that they can turn around and go sell them on eBay for 2 and 3 times the price. Right. Yeah. So basically, you got to get in there. You got to get the pre-order. But it's a pain in the ass too, because then even when you get the pre-order, it's one of the only places that makes you pay up front. So you got to pay now for the pre-order. It's going to be like, however many months until it finally comes out. But during that whole period of waiting, those months, the money that you pay, like they take it and then they send it back to your card. Then randomly they'll charge your card again for it every now and then and put it back and charge you and put it back and charge you and put it back to make sure you keep that money in your card so that when it comes time to buy, then they can take the money. And I'm like, why don't you just fucking take the goddamn money and keep it? Or wait until fucking the time to ship it and take the money then. This is nonsense because, whatever. But that's that, just little shit like that. But I mean, yeah, they make it very hard to get some of these things. So, yeah, it would be dope to have inside.
Even recently, they had a shipment with like the 90s Ninja Turtles from the TV show. Well, episode where they went on vacation, had like the glasses and the shorts and outfit. I had stacked that collection out. Literally, something like within like the next day, like not even halfway through the day, them shits were already gone. I'm like, damn, they ran through them like that. Like shit is crazy.
Yep. It's like that, bro. Yeah, I mean, that's why I don't even bother trying to get stuff in stores anymore, dog. That's something in America that we just really can't do. If you're like our boy Sharky in Australia, he can go to stores. They'll have shit because it's a rural area. It's not a lot of collectors around. But even I'm in a very rural area. But even my Walmart, there's someone around here. I don't know who the fuck it is, but there's someone here that must be buying shit up because even my Walmart stays empty. And it'd be like the day shit comes out, you got to know because it'll be sold out right away. It's just it's not worth bothering trying to get every figure in a collection by doing that. Like, for me, I find out when they're going up for pre-order, I pre-order them. If I don't get the pre-order, I generally don't get the figure because, like I said, I don't go to the stores, and then once they sell out, it's now going to be 2 and 3 times the price on eBay. I'm not paying a scalper, 2-3 times retail. I'm just not. So if I don't get the pre-order, I don't get the figure. So fuck it. I don't. And then when they say it's going to be a Target exclusive, that's the worst thing I want to hear. Right. They can say Walmart exclusive, and I'll be like, fuck. They can say Amazon exclusive. I'll be like, man, fuck. They say Target exclusive. I ain't getting it. Fuck it. I ain't even getting it.
Like shit, I give up.
Yep. I ain't even gonna bother. But some interesting news about the DC merger. Mark Millar, is the guy who creates Kick-Ass, Wanted, Kingsman, Marvel Civil War, Old Man Logan. He's a comic legend, and it's been announced. He announced that he was quitting social media right around the time that Netflix broke the news that it was acquiring Warner Brothers. And so the speculation is that perhaps Netflix, that because he's a Netflix staff member too. Okay, so Mark Millar, he works for Netflix too. So the speculation is that when Netflix acquires DC, Millar World was acquired by Netflix, so he might have secured a role in the deal, right? Potentially involving a role, right, to play in running DC Comics and maybe even the DC media, like James Gunn is doing. And so, but it seems that this speculation will not be addressed by Mark Millar, at least not on social media, because he's quitting social media. Coincidence or not, I don't know. You decide. He said he said what he said. He said, normally people leave social media after a spat or political disagreement, furious and smarting. But I'm leaving social media loving it more than ever. Why am I going? Honestly, it's just man hours. Work is kicked up a notch on the live action side, and we're going into pre-production in the new year on 2 different projects, a third following shortly after. So I'm just working too many evenings and watching too many brilliant conspiracy podcasts. I could watch this stuff night and day and love checking in on the Twitter feeds of every fringe crazy in the political or UFO world. But I just need to get my head down, and I will return to this joyous madness as soon as I have time again. My Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook pages will thus remain active. So this is hopefully more adieu than goodbye. Yeah. So he also showed off his first 3 pages of his Kickstarter comic, Psychic Sam, Volume 2, from John Romita and Klaus Janson. He said, I backed the first volume on Kickstarter. I put the first volume on Kickstarter, and it was successful. So we're doing it again. This book has been amazing, fun, and we're sending out the first 9 pages this evening to everyone who bought the first issue. We'll be back in the new year with the second of the 3 books in volume 2. Is even more mental and revenge-soaked than the first. I think you'll enjoy. Let's see. If you want to picture, what do you say? I don't know. Anyways, fuck that. They're talking about comics that he's selling. But yeah, Mark Millar, big comic legend, Netflix employee, quit social media right as the merger's taking place. The speculation is that it's because he's got some role there. And, when a comic legend works for a company that buys a comic publishing company, who do they put in charge? Probably the comic legend that works for them.
Most likely, yeah.
So that's the speculation. Now, that could suck, or it could be good. Maybe Mark Millar's DCU will be better than James Gunn's. Because, I mean, James Gunn's isn't perfect. It's great. It's very comic accurate. It's a lot better than the MCU, in my opinion, as a comic fan. Recently anyway. But maybe it could be better. Maybe Mark Millar is the man for the job. I don't know.
We gonna see.
I'm not, rooting for it because, like I said, I'm a fan of James Gunn and what he's doing. I'm a big fan of James Gunn. So I hope this doesn't happen, but what are you gonna do?
Right. We will see. But yeah, my guy, I got out of here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, before we go, real quick, I just wanted to show you guys this thing. It is like I said, the hip hop transformer, Soundwave. He transforms automatically and does a little break dance.
Oh shit!
Action. Or check him out. Let's see, can I?
That's dope.
Yeah, where's the video?
That's like this game that I stream. It's part of the Jackbox Party Pack collection. It's called Madverse City, where they kind of have like the transformers battle rapping. That shit is. I gotta send you one of the links. You can check that out. But it's interactive though.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, people can.
Well, this fucking thing here, it transforms obviously into the boombox, but then the speaker actually works. It's like a M. It's like a M. What do you call it? Bluetooth player, right?
Oh, okay.
And then of course it automatically transforms.
That's fire.
Let's see. And when he's transforming, bro, I swear to God, he almost break dances. Check him out.
Oh shit.
He does like a little floor action.
Oh man. See, this is the type of stuff we need more of.
You know?
That's fire right there.
Wait, where's the thing?
Which Decepticon is that?
That's Soundwave.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you know, from the cartoon back in the day, he was the one with the cool voice.
Yeah.
Chilling with Megatron and shit. But he could turn into the boombox. So like, I'm like, boom, that's the hip hop transformer. And he's got, you know, links to your phone and shit. Then he does all these moves, right? Where his gun shoots and he does all these like movements and like action poses, and you can control him and shit. But it's $1,000 if you want it.
I kind of figured it would be. Damn, that's fire though.
There he is, see, full action mode.
Killing it.
But yeah, y'all, that's our show, man. Check us out. We do this every Wednesday and Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, man. Tonight we chopped it up, man. Yo, thanks for coming, bro, and chopping it up with us. To everybody in the chat, salute. Thank y'all for chilling. And we'll see you guys Wednesday. Have a good rest of your weekend. Be safe. Word. And we'll see you then. And don't forget, we always tell you.
Be water, my friend.